Hello, hello, hello. Okay, hold on. To my friends. Richard Allen tapes of his interrogation. Hello, hello to all my friends. Do you think he did it? Hello, hello to you, yours, and me, and mine. The great Valentine. How are you, Jacob? Jacob, do you think Richard Allen did it? Hello, hello to all my friends. Hello, hello to all my friends. Okay. Why do I just always have to sing? I'm going to clean. Yeah, but I believe they began giving him drugs combined with daily therapy to manipulate him into confession. So what made you know how they have the little clip of him and her following them, Abby? Do you think that was clearly him, visibly? Just wondering. Hello, hello to all my friends. Just one friend right now. Share my channel. Create post. Paneling. Paneling. It can be compared on audio analysis. Has it already been? See, I didn't know, I didn't follow this case very much. I just thought that it was pretty crazy the way that all of the people that did follow it were, a lot of them were so convinced that the investigation was botched, and that since the investigation was so botched that they really couldn't pin it on him. And apparently there was a lot of oops there was a lot of um a bad investigation, terrible ways to make him admit to what he did. Nobody followed this case because no information has been. Yeah. Well, I don't know if nobody followed it because there was when I was following the Karen Reed case, a lot of those people were also following this. And for some reason, they think that there's not enough to truly indict him, and they felt like the judge was hiding a lot of evidence. So I'll be right back. Okay, so what we're going to do is if anybody wants to come up, you can. I am going to clean my house, and I just wanted to let's see, I was following the case obviously because I was thinking, how can they hold somebody without releasing some type of evidence? But then I looked at Ohio 4 Brian Koberger case. Hey, Ann, how are you? I was actually thinking about you earlier because I had a stream I was doing earlier, and I feel like you were my only missing old lady. Sorry to call anybody old. Yeah, they are both very slow cases. If anybody wants to come up, I did drop a link. Hey, Tammy. How are you? I just made my bed. I'm cleaning my house today. I did drop a link if anybody would like to join. If not, no pressure whatsoever. I am just cleaning my house. I'm going to be talking to you all, talking your ear off. You were also one of my missing ladies. So with the Richard Allen case, do you guys think that they were not releasing info because they wanted do you think they weren't releasing info because they wanted to protect the privacy due to there being minors involved? Is that like their reason? Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing okay.
Cool. Well, thanks.
You can get your whole house clean while doing StreamYard because Joanne did it one time, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've done it
Or at least
many a
half her
times.
house. Yeah. It goes really fast.
Yep, I can clean the whole house because talking while cleaning, it makes me clean better. Like I pay more attention because as I'm talking, I'm like fidgeting, instead of fidgeting, I can clean. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, how has your day been?
Well, so far good. Good. I woke up at 19 minutes after 2.
Oh, wow. So, have you been sleeping pretty late?
Well, figuring that I went to bed about 2. No, wait a minute. No, I didn't. Not at 2. Duh. Maybe 12 I went to bed.
Oh, okay.
And then I woke up at 19 after 2. So I stayed up. I'm going to crash and burn later.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, Tammy, hopefully you can get it figured out and come up. If you need my help, let me know. But I noticed that when I sleep at like I'll get so tired for some reason around like 8 o'clock at night. And
Yeah.
I'll get so tired. And if I go to sleep, I'll wake up around like 1 a.m. and I won't be able to go back to sleep. And that's kind of what happened to me today.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot. You wake up anywhere during the middle of the night or something like that, and then you can't go back to sleep. So you're looking at a very long day unless you can grab a nap.
Yep.
That,
Yeah,
that's
no,
really,
they are covering up the Epstein stuff too. So they covered up the Epstein files. They covered up,
oh, they did?
uh, yeah, like they're not really releasing them. Like they're pretending to release things and they're not ever going to really release the names. Like, in my opinion, they never will really release the full list of names.
Oh, Tammy, I'm not your aunt. More like your, well, I don't know how old Tammy is.
That's funny though, because Auntie Anne's is a pretzel place
Jeez.
in the mall. But yeah, so they won't release the Brian Koberger stuff, which I don't know if you ever heard about that case, Anne, but it
No.
was the case in Idaho where like the college students, there were 4 of them, and they were like M-worded and murdered, they were
Oh,
M-worded in their dorm or their college like house. And
yeah.
it was 4 roommates, and I think like actually 5 roommates, and I think 3 of them were. And then the other 2 were like sleeping through it because everybody was like really drunk. And so they didn't know like
Mm.
what was actually going on in the other room. So it's actually a sad story, but there's not a lot of information released about it. And it's kind of just like we expect you to believe us that he's guilty type of thing. But a
Yeah.
lot of people think that like the police are involved in that murder. Like some conspiracy theorists believe that like the police in Idaho were involved because they've like had
Ooh,
issues with those girls at the house before and they like
damn.
framed him. So I don't know.
Yeah, I
There's a
didn't
lot
read
of
it.
cases like that right now.
Yeah.
And
I've been
then,
trying to keep a low profile. Every time I turn around, Juan's coming after me.
oh, really?
Yeah, I can't go
Oh,
anywhere, and he pops up.
is
But
Juan
I
in here?
no,
No.
oh, well, Tammy, if you're 55, I got a daughter your age.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I had her when I was 16.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old were you when you got married?
um, I don't know.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, do you want me to go back that far? Hang on a minute.
I don't know if it's my computer, but all of a sudden the sound is weird.
I got married after I had her, I think. Maybe.
Do you guys hear a weird, like, wiry sound, or is that just me? Because I
I
might
don't
need to
hear it.
come back. You don't hear it? Okay.
Yeah, I don't hear it at all. And I'm wearing a headset.
My computer does this sometimes, and I have to restart. So in a minute or two, I'll restart and I'll come back.
I
Right
got
now, I'm
married.
cleaning my bed.
Yeah, I got married when I really didn't want to get married, but yeah. Whoop,
Add myself. Remove you
yourself
and add
pop. Jeez.
me. Let's see. Natalia's our baby. I'm actually not even the youngest. The youngest are the clearly, I just have to say, the people who are the youngest, it's very clear they're the youngest. They act pretty dumb. They say pretty dumb shit.
Well, what was that outside? I heard a clang. Huh. Oh, I bet you I'm getting an oil delivery for my furnace.
Oh, okay.
That
You know what?
shit.
Yeah, I'm going to be right back because I'm going to have to restart. So I'll come right back.
Okay. Tammy, my gorgeous walked out the door about 40 years ago. And I'm not kidding. Actually, I was doing pretty good with my looks and that until I had chemo. Man, that shit ages you. Well, I was getting old anyways, but that shit ages you. I thought she had to restart Hamilton. I had long straight hair before chemo. Get this. So then I have chemo. Then I lost all my fucking hair. When my hair grew back in, it grew in so tightly curled, I couldn't get a comb through it. I mean, we're talking fro curl. If I would have stuck a comb in it, it would have never got it out. I mean, that's how curly it was. But yeah. Hope she remembers to come back in. Natalie. Here she is.
Okay, now my sound is much better.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Ann.
No problem. I can hold the fort.
Yes, you've been known to have to hold people's fort down a time or two for hours at a time.
There's the brat. Hamilton.
Oh,
Hey,
there he is. Hey,
Hamilton.
Hammy. So, you know what, Anne? I don't know. I know you've been keeping a low profile because of Juan. So I'm not sure if you've been up on the latest drama. Did you need me to catch you up on everything?
Well, I was watching Tracy's yesterday or day before
Okay.
about Mr. T being a caveman dragging his babe all around the house.
Yep.
And so I had to. I heard it in Tracy's, but then I had to go find the video or something like that.
You had to do your own research.
Yeah. And,
Yep. Hey,
that's
buds.
about all I know has been going on. You know.
That's yes. And so what I would just like to say about that is it's fucking crazy to me how they, like, I know you don't watch them very much. You kind of stay more on this side of things, like the other community, not really like the 420 people.
No, I
But
don't.
yeah, so you don't really know this, but like he would talk so much shit about Hamilton and I's relationship every every single and what is Tammy talking about? You don't believe you, Anne. Your personality makes you beautiful. I'm sorry for ever upsetting you from the heart. That's nice.
That's nice.
Yeah. So like he would get involved like every time Hamilton and I would fight and Hamilton would bring it to YouTube or I would bring it to YouTube, he would
Yeah.
always like kind of like gather our grief and he would like I don't even know how to like word this, but he would like use our grief as content. Like when him and I were upset with each other and fighting, which never got anywhere near physical, never would. Like, I'm not a fucking barbarian. Like, first of all, nobody will ever lay their hands on me, ever. And because, like, that would make me, like, leave them and I would press charges. And also,
Yeah.
I would never lay my hands on anyone, but first, at least. Like, I would definitely defend myself if I need to. But
Well,
for them to like use our grief and them have these skeletons that are so deep and dirty is just so mind-blowing to me.
yeah, that's what gets me is this whatever a person does in their life, and if they bring it to the tubes, other people think, oh, geez, there's some drama. I can get content. I can get views. I can get this and that. And
Right.
those are, this, I've had my fill of that crap, because of the fact, even if I post a stupid cartoon, Nikki's taking it. I mean, it's that
Exactly.
stupid, so it gets real stupid on the tubes.
Yeah.
I'd be
It really
striking
does.
those mothers left and right.
And
But I
the
tell you
fact
what,
that
in good defense, if Hamilton was ever a brat and slapped your face, my suggestion, you don't have to touch him. Just pick up an old vase that you don't want and learn how to perfectly aim it at him.
pick up what that I don't want.
A vase.
Oh dear God. That sounds like murder.
I knocked my first husband, he laid a hand on me, and my little German Hungarian temper, well, it wasn't a cheap vase, but it got sacrificed, and I not straight on popped him one and knocked him out. He's 6'1" or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't you ever touch me unless you want to die early.
Yeah. Fuck no.
That's why I don't like getting mad because I have to strike out at, that's one thing my hubby knew about me. Don't piss me off in that because somebody's going to get damaged. It's not going to be me.
Right? It could get dangerous. And like
Yeah.
for you to provide your children with a home where the man that you're dating is dragging you and you're screaming, let go of me, let go of me, let go of me 3 times in 7 seconds. And then you're asking him, is that love? Is that love like to drag me and slap me around? To provide an environment like
isn't.
that for your kids is disgusting.
Physical and emotional abuse, but particularly the worst one the physical is the worst one, and then emotional abuse and then verbal abuse. I don't take that from no man, because it pisses me off like an instant. And you don't
Exactly.
want to normalize that in front of your kids. Just
Nope.
like, I used to like a sip of beer back in the day, but I never drink a sip of beer in front of my kids. I don't want to normalize it. I didn't do cuss in front of my kids. I didn't want to normalize it. Yeah, I mean, there's
Good.
just, there's rules to the road, and you have to keep them, or you're going to fuck up your kid's mind.
Exactly. Absolutely. And imagine like your kid has to go to school with that on their mind while the other kids are freely just having fun at recess, not a care in the world. Your poor kid has to go to school and think about the mom being dragged by the boyfriend and the mom
Yeah.
screaming. And what if like one of the teachers approaches them and is like, what's wrong, are you okay? And they tell the teacher, then you're in fucking trouble because you're getting CPS called on you. Like, and to be
Yeah.
honest with you,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with it, because I know CPS isn't necessarily going to put your kid in the best foster home, or like, who knows what the fuck's going to happen in those homes. So I don't want a kid going there. I'd rather the kid be with their mom and dad. But it's just pathetic that this is the environment you're raising your kid in. And then what do you think your kid's going to do when your kid is in a relationship?
That's,
You think they're going to have a normal relationship?
I
No.
know about that almost first. Well, my daughter firsthand, because it was her son. There was a boy that was coming to school, and the parents were fighters at home,
Yeah.
and that made his personality go into a fighter bully mode for a while. But the worst of it is that the victim was my grandson.
Oh, wow.
He would take it out on my grandson. It's my daughter that lives in New Mexico,
Yeah.
her youngest one, and I think he's maybe about 6 or 8 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, he became that little boy's victim because he had to take it out on somebody. And yep. So I
Wow.
mean, my daughter had to take some steps in that, with the school and with the parents of that kid, and it didn't end up
Yeah.
pretty for the parents, you know.
Right.
But yeah,
And
you don't normalize stuff, but you might think it's okay for you as an adult, but you got to think of your child's mind and his personality and what it's going to do to him.
exactly. And honestly, the example that you gave is such a good point. Like, not only is it going to impact you and your child, but your child is then going to go and possibly take it out on another child at their school, at their daycare, at their after school program,
Yeah,
whatever, at
yeah,
their doctor's office. The kids are going to take it out on other people. And then guess what you've caused because you chose to be in an abusive relationship? You
right,
have now
right.
caused turmoil in the world. So your problem has now become everybody else's problem. And how is that fair?
Hamilton, when a lady's
Let's see.
acting
Sometimes when a
hysterical,
lady is acting, whatever, Hamilton, he would never. So don't even
you
believe
know what
him.
to
He's
do with that dude there. Next time you see him, shove him in his closet and lock the door.
absolutely. Yeah, he would never lay a hand on me, and I would never lay a hand on him because we have way more respect for each other than that. Because to me, like, we can get low down and dirty when it comes to words and blocking and shit, but we're not
Yeah.
going to put hands on each other. And honestly, we feel bad about the words we use. I can't even imagine how guilty and wrong we would feel if any of us ever put hands on each other, ever. Like, I can't even imagine. We would feel forever guilty because when we fight, and like, I feel such guilt, even if he's wrong, I still feel guilty. And it's like, I'll be like, the other day, for example, I only took 50% of the fault. I don't know if you saw that, Anne, but that's another thing that we can discuss is those women that Dr. T had, like, in
Yeah.
Hamilton's chat, trying to like talk sexually to him was so fucking vile.
Ooh.
For real. And the fact that they were doing it to try to get a reaction out of me is even more gross. Like, how can you put yourself on the line like that? Like, your dignity, your reputation, just to try to get a dig at another girl. Like, it makes no sense.
That's weird.
Yeah.
You gotta have pride in yourself. And Hamilton, Sean Connery's dead, so I don't know what his voice would sound like right now. You said read it in a Sean Connery voice. God,
Yeah, I don't know.
it's just with shit going to shitter everywhere in the world, and there's gonna be a lot of domestic problems because
Yep.
people aren't sure about what's gonna happen. But my ex, he slapped me and don't, just don't do that. It's not
No, fuck
with my
him.
temper, don't do that. And the other thing, if you want to die really at an early age, don't grab my throat because I go mega pissed.
Yeah.
There's spots on everybody's body that you touch it, it's either going to be for the good or
Right.
you better start running. And I'm the one, you better start running. There's just
I
parts on me I
never
don't like touched.
I never ever learned, like, I was never the person to put my hands on someone. Like, even
Mm,
in any way, shape, or form, like, I know boundaries, and I feel like people that don't, it's weird.
yeah, just growing up, my temper got me in more trouble than I liked. But I never got in trouble with the cops. I never had, well, except that one time I had to go get my ass chewed out by the co-op at the police station.
So, there's so many things that contribute to anger. For example, thyroid issues contribute to anger. I've had a thyroid issue before. High blood pressure, when you take the medication, that shit will make you angry. I've never had to take it, but I know people that have had to, and it made them angry. And then, like, what else? Anemia can make you angry. There's a lot of different, like, things that'll make you angry, and it fucking sucks because I have
I
that.
well, I was a passive aggressive when I was a teen, and I think
Yeah.
my problem back then with I can get pretty pissed on YouTube, but at least I'm not near, human beings. Um,
Yeah.
but I think my problem back when I was a teen, I had to fight for my survival. Older girls, they'd pick on me or bully me. But I
Right.
think my temper, and all of it came back because my mom and dad were domestic fighters,
I
and I
see.
seen those fights.
See?
But I
See
never,
how this all comes back
yeah,
full circle? Yep.
but I never bullied, because of that. I'd never bullied anybody. I was, some chick, bullying me on, and then I was the puss and walked away. And if I walked away, most times I got beat up. But,
Right.
it just, yeah, I mean, my parents, divorced because of their issues. But it was all
Right.
domestic. I seen so many. I'm the oldest, so I seen and understood the fights they were having, and some of them were very violent.
Do you see, Anne, how these people, Dr. Sean Diddy Combs and Sammy, fighting in front of their kids, that is going to cause angry children, which
Yeah,
are going to turn into angry adults. And it's
I
not fair because
I
that's
think
not the kid's responsibility to take that on. Hi, Cinnamon.
I think what it did for me is make me face the real world that not everything's a pink cloud. And,
Right.
I just, I went through my teens for my survival, among the older girls and stuff, and got bullied and, smacked around and stuff. And eventually I stood my ground and I started smacking back at the same ones that were busting me up. Yeah, but
Yep.
it just, I knew I had a temper that I either controlled or someone was going to get hurt and someone's going to go to jail,
Absolutely.
and I
Yeah. And
understood that.
yeah, and that's all because of watching your parents.
Yeah. I mean, it, I had that experience being the oldest, and then my brother, he has some baggage from it, but, his is drinking. He
Yeah,
can't,
that's
and
good
my
that you
brother,
didn't get that.
yeah, yeah, I didn't get that. My brother, started drinking as soon as he got out of the house, and then he went in the
Wow.
service and then, in the military, and he drank almost all through that, and he's still drinking, and he's what, 70 now?
See,
You
so
know,
these choices that these people are making are going to haunt their children until their children are in their 70s. Like,
yeah,
that is sad, and it is not their fault that they had to watch their parents fight or their
well,
mom get dragged. It's not their fault. It's the parents' fault.
I think, I don't watch Mr. T or Trichome or whatever his name is.
Dr. Sean Diddy Combs.
Yeah, I don't watch him, and I wouldn't even know where his channel is. But I think it would be something that maybe acting as adults, they have a sit down with the kids, and they don't need to go into detail explaining it. Just reassuring the kids, that everything, that
Exactly.
yeah, talk to them somehow, to make
Yeah,
sure
like
that
get the kids therapy because that's going to help them like talk to somebody about what they're witnessing and
yeah,
how it's affecting them psychologically and make sure like if I'm not trying to accuse anyone of anything, but if you have any type of firearms in your house to that household, keep them locked up. Like
yeah.
you really need to take this serious because what you did in front of your kids is no joke. And that's just a snippet of what we witnessed.
Yeah,
So imagine what goes on there, when we're not watching. I can't even imagine.
I wouldn't want to know because I'm very I can be very vocal and very hostile to people that abuse, and it would just get me in trouble.
Yeah, and I did do a stream. I did do a stream early this morning where I showed a clip of something that I came across on TikTok of this TikToker. She was only 19 and she was in this relationship for like 9 months. And she was being like beat like severely by him. And she just stayed because she didn't know any better and she didn't have a parent to go to about it. And
Yeah,
I showed like the clip of what she recorded, and it seriously seemed so similar to what happened to them. And I started crying because that shit really upsets me. I can't stand to hear a woman get hit like that, just getting punched in the face and saying that her jaw is broken. Like, I can't handle that. It's just too much for me. So, like,
it's just a lot of things affect kids, and some of them affected me in certain ways, but not in what I would say totally bad ways. Not only was, my parents domestic fighters, but my dad was the Punisher, and of course he used a belt. And so
oh
when I,
no.
yeah,
With the
I'm
buckle
well,
on?
that's really back in the day. I mean, they believed in punishment.
Did they
They
put
don't
the
care.
buckle on it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you poor thing, Anne. That
Well,
makes me want to cry.
you survive it, and at a point when I would do the stuff that gets me in trouble in the first place. But it
Yeah,
just when I had
right.
my own kids, I went to grounding, and they
Yeah.
said, "Oh, it doesn't work." Well, if you do it right, it does. Um, but that's why I always kind of chuckle at the fact when my kids got. I had 5 daughters, so when my kids got to be teenagers, and then you want to ground a teenager, and it's a girl, you ground their makeup, and then of course back in the day, they use hairspray by the gallons. You
Yeah.
ground that stuff from, yeah, they straighten their act up. But I didn't really start grounding my kids until they were about 9 or 10 years old. You know,
Yeah. Well, the excuse me. The the churches used to believe in spanking, but now with like all this stuff going on, they pretend to be against even spanking.
yeah,
But I'm pretty sure they are like getting back into that.
I would have taken a spanking over a belt. I
Right?
mean,
For sure.
and and the worst of it is that when parents believe in the belt, it don't matter where you get hit. And I've been hit in my back, on my chest. I've
Oh
been hit
no.
on my rear, on my thighs. I mean, my dad lived and died by the belt. But
No
it's just
offense, but don't you feel like you have to be really, really dumb to think that that's a smart thing to do?
yeah. My dad was a German strict disciplinarian, and
Yeah.
but what's weird is my grandma, his mom, never did that to him or his other 3 siblings. So I don't
That
know
is
where he got that from. I don't know. But it just what you go through as a child molds you into whatever you're going to get as an adult. I know I got a
For sure.
shitty temper, and I also got a mouth in the mouth of the South, but I never lived in the South. I mean, but um, when my kids got to 18 or 20s, I think the last one she left home about when she was 22. You know, after I had an empty nest, man, I started cussing like a mother.
Yeah, you're like, what do I have to not cuss for now?
Yeah. But yeah, it's just I mean,
Well, like, for example, what you're saying is hope, you broke that mold, that generational
you have
curse
to.
of people using belts or physical violence. And it seems that Dr. Sean Diddy Combs and Sammy decided not to break that generational curse, and they are going to continue whatever they watch their family and their parents do. And
Right.
that's
And
that.
Tammy, I was going to say that, when you said it was a different generation, but, our parents would let others whoop us too. My dad's mother, man, she was a wicked witch of the broom. You got in trouble with her, I mean, she was only 4'10", 4'11".
Oh,
You did
wow.
something wrong in her house, man, you better learn how to run fast and run out of there. I mean, she'd whack the shit out of you with a broom. Yeah, they consider spanking and all that. When it comes to physical, it's all not allowed no more. It's abuse, and a lot of what
Thinking is
there is
right,
some
personally.
generation or some kids in isolated areas or really populated areas that are absolute downright dirt street brats because
Oh,
they
yeah.
weren't disciplined.
Yep. Well, if I was going to have a mini Hamilton, I might need to spank. I might need to spank if I'm going to, bless you. If I'm going to have a mini Hamilton, I might need to spank him to teach him when not to do things because otherwise he might not listen. But if I'm going to have a mini Natalia doesn't need a spanking.
I can imagine the mini me's of both of you. Sorry about the coughing. Today's my loose
No,
day.
it's okay. I thought you were sneezing.
No, it just some days I have a really tight chest congested, because that's COPD, and other days
Yeah.
it's loose, and as Nikki
So
says, I hack online. No, I try not
I
to.
do it. I do it too. She does it too. You know what's funny about her? Actually, she must like want to get physically abused because it's really funny the way that I know you don't go to his channel and I don't either, but from what I've heard from Hamilton and other people, she's been going up on his panel ever
Really?
since this whole thing happened to try to like help him prove his innocence. And he also was trying to get her to show her boobs. So he must think she's hot, which is sad because, I mean, that's the best he can do, right? She's a little better looking than Sammy, I will say.
I've seen the image of that lady.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would say there's maybe a smidget better look. A
Right.
smidget, not a lot, a smidget. But
Right.
it's odd for her to take up for somebody that physically abuses another human being, particularly when the person that's taken up for it was abused,
Well,
from what I
well,
gather from her words.
yeah. Well, the thing is that I mean, you know this that the only reason she's even friends with him is because he's Hammy and I's enemy. So
Oh,
she can't very well lose him just because he beat his girlfriend. She needs
yeah,
to keep him in her circle because he does a lot for her when it comes to the fight against Hammy and I.
that is. Don't you think some of that is a little bit juvenile? I mean, come on.
Absolutely. But
You know,
It's just funny though because they want to gang up against us. So whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I tell you, mental manipulation is just as bad. Emotional blackmail.
I was cleaning the toilet.
Oh, God. Get under the rim.
Yep. Can't miss that. Just-
Make sure you put a freshener of some odd sort in your tank. There was something I read about essential oils or something, but I thought, man, that would coat up the walls of your tank. Why would they do that? Hmm.
I'm done with the
So,
toilet. Let's see. So yeah, other news. Did you see how Mad Mac was like really needing a friend?
I don't know if that's the one I seen. I seen the one that he was melting down,
Yep.
and I'm
Like
not
he was
sure who.
having like a mental breakdown, and it seems like people were deciding to take advantage of him during that time and like make fun of him.
I wish they'd leave him alone. That man doesn't do nothing to nobody, and when he does, he has a purpose for doing it. But
I
the point of
know.
it is that he does suffer. So I'm not sure what he suffers from. I assume, like you said, it's some form of mental illness, and I know, and other people are still debating. I know he had some form of cancer.
Right.
I'm not sure what, because there's all different levels of cancer. And if you get lung cancer, it doesn't mean you're gonna die right then and there, within a couple months, because my sister has been fighting lung cancer for 2 years.
Right.
And I mean, every time they radiate one tiny lump, another one's popping up. In fact, it just happened again recently. They got the other one under control. It was no bigger than about a nickel. So they radiated and all this, she's not had chemo. They radiated it about the size of a nickel and it's gone. So they did
Sorry. I hope.
some kind of scan on her,
Yeah.
and they found another small
Oh
one about the
no.
size of a dime. So I mean, you can have this ongoing. I mean, she's been 2 years into it.
Right.
So I mean, you know,
It's
and,
a yeah, like when your body gets sick like that, it is a constant battle
yeah,
and it constantly moves. And he did have a video where he was in a doctor's office and she said, it was terminal or whatever, whether or not that was real, whether or not that was fake. Who the fuck cares? Clearly, he has some type of illness that I believe also is a mental illness. And again, no offense to him. I really hope this doesn't hurt his feelings. But I do think he has some type of mental illness where, he does feel lonely, he does feel depressed, he does feel down, and
let's see.
he does lash out at people. And sometimes he will lash out at people who don't like him. Sometimes he'll lash out at like me, even. And I don't hold that against him. I understand that that's a form of his mental illness. And like, how can you hold that against someone who has mental illness? You're just gonna, oh, they said something about me one time. So if they're, suicidal, I'm just gonna troll them for it for the rest of their lives. Like, you have to be a really disgusting person to
Yeah,
do that.
I do.
Yeah.
If I remember, because see, I used to watch Mad Mac every time he went live, and over time, I've lost his link to his channel, or he's changed his name, and
Same.
but I mean, I did watch him for a very long time when I came in the community, and that's been 5 years, 6 years. But anyways, but I think he does have um, something people like a I would call people phobia. He doesn't at the time. This was way back. He didn't like people all of a sudden popping up on his property, you know,
Yeah.
visiting them because he shies away from people that way. But
Yeah.
everything else I don't know about. But, I did believe him and I still believe him that he had some form of cancer and it's fightable. And believe
Right.
me, my sister's been fighting it for 2 years.
Right.
You know,
And I know someone who it went from one spot, then years later another spot,
yeah,
then years later another spot. It happens. Like cancer isn't a one size fits all, and you're a fucking idiot if you think that you know the answer to every type of cancer. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like even doctors don't. So you're not gonna
Um,
like convince me.
there are all types of cancers, and when it comes to lung cancers, there's some like what my sister's been fighting, and I believe that maybe he's within that category. What she has, that he can fight it, and just like breast cancers, there's breast cancers that you don't catch it, you're dead. I caught
Exactly.
mine in 2008 and had surgery. And I've been clean since about 2009 as far as any kind of cancers. And I only had chemo. I turned down the radiation. I didn't want to be fried up inside. But
Yeah.
there's all types. I mean, you can get skin cancer if it goes haywire. Yeah, you can die probably from skin cancer.
Right.
But like I said, Nikki was on the bandwagon, but why ain't he dead or something like that? Well, you know what? There is stuff out there that can help.
Right. I put his link in the chat. Do you want me to put it in the private chat? Hello? Okay, you probably went to go click his link. You're both welcome. Oh my god, it's my boo-boo. Hi, my boo-boo.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry if I was giving off an.
What? Hello?
Sorry if I was causing an echo.
Oh no, you weren't. You're
Oh,
a cutie pie, apple of my eye.
So, can I tell you what I just got in the mail?
Yeah?
no.
7 grams of Mac 1, 7 grams of Blueberry, 7 grams of Pink Bubba, 7 grams of garlic breath, and best of all, 3.5 grams of Cuban cubensis,
Oh, wow.
Wow. You want to show it?
otherwise known as magic mushrooms.
Ooh.
Okay,
You'll probably
let's
get age
skip over
restricted
that.
if I show it.
Yeah, let's skip over that topic. Okay, bye. Turn that off.
No, show it.
Looks like pizza.
Yeah, it looks
Yep.
like brains.
Actually, it looks like brownies.
Looks like a
Looks like
delicious
balls.
snack.
Looks like balls.
I was going to say something to Natalie when he was typing. He says something about, well, I'll just type it here. And I thought, he wants a link, and I forgot.
Sorry, Tammy, if I'm so conceited that I feel that Jizz Stain and Nikki's friendship and lives revolve around me. But I do.
Well,
Can't help it.
apparently they're doing it for the current because, is there anybody else out there giving them content to
I know,
justify their
right?
channel?
Well, you give them content whenever they go to your community tab. They want to take all your shit.
Oh, Nikki loves me. I mean, she alters my face. If I type something out and if it's of interest to her, she'll take my whole complete paragraph of whatever I type out. Yeah.
Yep. She will.
But
She edits every single post you make. It's very
I
strange.
can honestly tell you when she does that, and even if it doesn't work, I report her every time she gets sticky fingers.
Well, good
or
for
it
you.
affects my image. Like I said, I don't particularly think it's effective, but it makes me feel better.
Exactly. As long as it makes you feel better, you know.
I think you will see. Hey, take this.
Thanks,
You know what's
Cinnamon.
funny? I don't know if you see Natalie, but she made a post about you saying that you're jealous of the beach. And that's
Who?
not even what you were talking about. Like
Thank
Nikki's so dumb.
So here,
Huh.
let me give Anne the little breakdown. So Green Thing, she met a really hot man, and they're on a beach together right now in like some
Ooh.
foreign country. And so she's living her best life. So I shared it and I tagged little old nobody's ever gonna take Nikki on vacation, Nikki. So I tagged Nikki and I was like, hey Nikki, when's your boyfriend gonna take you on vacation? Where is, I don't think he's gonna. What the fuck? So she completely misses the point and says that she owns the beach. Like, no, bitch, you couldn't even own a toilet until your mom died. So no,
She
you don't
owns a
own
moo.
See,
exactly.
I'm totally out of the loop. I didn't know Green met a hottie. Shit.
What? She met a hottie and they're on a beach in a foreign country right now while
Well,
we're
hope she's
here.
having fun, getting plenty.
Exactly. I hope she's having the best time.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh,
I
yeah, I
do.
didn't even know that. Damn, you wait till I
Oh,
see her.
if anybody
Jeez.
knows Green Thing's Cash App, can you let me know what it is so that I can send them some money to have dinner on me?
Yeah, I've never known it. If anybody
Paying
has
for
it,
their dinner, but you won't buy me those shoes, huh?
Those $900 shoes.
Bitch, how
900
much you spend at
What?
Lululemon yesterday?
Oh, shut
$900
up.
shoes. What brand are they?
I
They're
will not pay
designer.
900.
Oh, you ordered from France?
What
Uh,
designer?
I think it's an American designer.
Oh,
Then fuck no. Did
I'm out
you
of the loop on popular shoe brands too.
guys see the shoes Seaside got? Let me share them. I think these are nice for men. You guys should
$300?
let me
You
know.
better
No,
be
I don't
damn
think
good
they
in
were
bed.
900. Let's see.
Damn. Hamilton? You want her to 900?
I will not buy $900 shoes for not even myself.
Well, they're 950.
Oh,
Fuck
geez.
that.
What about tax?
Fuck that.
I don't believe in taxes.
Like I said, for that kind of money on a pair of shoes, you better be damn good in bed.
Bloomers? What are bloomers? Is that like a
Underwear.
brand of night dress or whatever?
Bloomers
Moo-moo?
were the underwear that women wore probably late 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah, pioneer women.
These are Seaside shoes. Okay, ready?
Excuse you, but women of the upper crush wore those suckers too.
Okay, look at these shoes.
Ooh,
Unbox? Ooh. That's
I'm
my
out
kind
of date.
shoes.
My tennis shoes and stuff are Skechers.
Yeah.
That's okay.
The
Skechers are kind of in
X
still.
Ultra Pioneer.
Those are badass.
Especially
let me
if they
show
light
you-
up.
Yeah, okay. Let me show you guys what Seaside looks like because a lot of the ladies don't know and he's quite good looking. Okay, let me show you. Share.
I'll be the judge of that.
Okay,
What
there he
would
is.
you like to have on the seaside? Seaside here? I'll be serving you breakfast today and dinner and
I like
supper.
his accent,
What would
but
you like to
honestly,
have
to be
on the
honest,
seaside?
he's got friendly eyes, but I would still put a paper bag on him before I did him.
Wow. So rude.
Well, it's being honest. I like his eyeballs, though. I mean, his
Geez,
eye.
Nikki was right about you. You are a fucking bully.
Another one.
That's
Hold
not
on. I
being a
just want to get
bully.
your
That's
take on him here.
okay. I'll keep a see-through bag. Jesus.
Okay, so here he is making a pizza. Here he is.
Let's make pizza. On this pizza.
Oh, I like that picture of him. I didn't like maybe the lighting.
Yeah, he's very, very handsome. There he is. Okay.
Is it good in bed?
I don't know. I've never met him.
Quit trying to fuck my friends, Natalie.
Eh,
Hey, not me.
what kind of accent is it? French?
Yeah, he lives in Canada, but
Ooh.
he spoke French, but I don't know what he was. He was like he was from some other country.
My idea of a man that I would, at my age, I couldn't get him anyways.
Well, he's taken, and he won't even go for me.
Armand Asante. He's an actor. That is my speed. Damn.
Can you guys believe this bitch talking so openly about how she wants to fuck another man?
Ooh.
Meanwhile, like she gets so jealous if I fucking
Oh,
you know, women are giving me attention.
you know what? It doesn't hurt to look. My hubby, oh man, he had the eyeballs. He'd watch ass. He'd watch boobs. And I'd start laughing. We'd go downtown, and I'm not young or old. Well, he didn't, look at the real young ones. Like maybe 30, 40 and up. He would look at.
Yeah.
And I'd start when I'd be walking next to him and watch him do it. I'd start laughing. You can looky, but no touchy. He said,
Yep.
"Yeah, I know." I said, "Besides that, if they want you, they're going to take all the bills with you."
Right?
But yeah,
Exactly.
he liked to look. He really
Well,
did.
Well, there is a problem with looking if you have an insecure girl, but if you have a secure girl, there's no problem with looking. It's just you should never act on
No,
it.
it's okay to look. If your girl's insecure, just be sneaky about it. Don't make it obvious.
I don't agree.
Oh,
What the
Justin
fuck is-
Bateman, Tammy. Oh my God. Ugh.
Jersey Shore, what? What's this guy on?
I don't.
Jersey Shore?
Like you said, the female has to be secured about herself because if you got one that isn't, it can make trouble. But
Yeah, Natalie.
I don't mind. I don't mind a guy if he looks. The husband and boyfriend. If they're looking at another chick, you can think two ways. I got this dude. Nobody's going to get him, or he's going to go, and I'll be happier.
Right.
Well,
Well, I don't think like I know for a fact that Hammy would never cheat on me, but I also don't appreciate reading that dirty ass shit directed at my man by low down scum whores that would sell their body for a crack pipe.
Yeah, but you
they're
have to
just trying
understand, like,
trigger you.
I'm trained to ignore that shit, Natalie. So I really wasn't paying attention to it going down. Also, I didn't want you and that other girl to just scream and yell at each other. I was hoping to get more of like an interview and be able to like
I know.
calm them down and ask some questions. But overall, I'm really happy with the way that stream went. Great success.
I'm glad that you're happy with how it went because
The only reason I was grumpy with you that night is because you got grumpy with me
Oh, okay.
about, those two bitches.
I want to rub your nose.
Well, there's another chick. Well, I've had one experience with my hubby. Why she did it, I don't know. His ex-wife contacted him through email,
Uh-huh.
and he didn't know how to respond. And I said, "Let me respond." He regretted it. But she used it on the pretense of one of his kids, and it wasn't about that because he had contacted the kid after the fact, and it was no big deal. And the kid is in his 40s, no less.
Oh, wow.
But but she just wanted to make contact with him.
Right.
And, he didn't want that kind of contact. And so I made the contact. I said, guess what? And this is what I said. I said, guess what? I got him. You don't. Goodbye.
Oh my God. Good for you.
I have a
you
question
know.
for the ladies. Now,
What?
if you're a man and you go to a rub and tug and get a hand job from a woman you don't know, and she's wearing a glove and you have to pay money for it, is that cheating?
Yes.
Why? Isn't it more
Cheating
like a
isn't
medical kind of release?
cheating isn't I don't know. Well, you can be online and cheat online. That's cheating of the mind. That's a sin. So
Yeah, it's not like you're in a relationship with the
But-
person, like you know them or even their name.
I mean, if you go to
You want
the
to get beat to death?
well, put it this way: do you consider going to the sperm bank and jacking off to give them your sperm? Is that cheating or is it not cheating? Because
I
you're
can't believe that this is like even up for debate.
Well, because Natalie, I don't think a hand job from a person that you don't know, and they're wearing a glove and you have to pay money, like that's not cheating. That's not
There's
That's like not even a sexual act. It's more like a medical release.
well,
Oh God, you are crazy.
It's an-
That is
it's-
not a
there's
medical
no-
release. You can release yourself, bitch.
yeah, there in that kind of situation, there's no emotional connection. But
Right.
you got a strange woman touching your guys.
Okay, so
business.
Natalie, what if I'm in a car accident and I break both my arms and I'm in one of those casts that like I can't move either of my arms and they're like pointed straight out, like I'm fucked. I can't even reach my own wiener. Then is it cheating if I go to a rub and tug?
So what makes you need to go to a rub and tug versus your wife?
You got two hands.
I don't know.
And
I
it-
just
and
think it'd be
Exactly,
funny to pay
and
someone to fucking give it a yank. You know what I mean?
Well, put it this way: if you need a rub and tug, you'd be best off, and it wouldn't cost you as much by buying one of those fake pulsating pussies.
right?
No. Then you get
Just saying.
microplastics inside your
How
penis.
do we get into this conversation?
Those like sex devices that you put inside you are not good, or that you put yourself inside. Those aren't good. You get microplastic contamination from that.
Okay, well then go cheaper. Buy some
Did
liver.
you get microplastic contamination? Is that how you know?
Yeah,
Did
Oh,
you?
God.
yeah. That's why I stopped
Did you?
using flashlights.
Oh,
News
God.
alert! He got one of those fake ones.
Hamilton is so
Like I said,
nasty.
if you don't want to get
You're
infected,
So
Like,
now,
why
what
are
would
you
be
talking
different,
about this with
Natalie?
her?
buy
What's
liver,
worse? Let me
then
ask you,
pay.
what's worse? If I were to have like a fucking sex robot that looked like a hot chick, and I could like fuck her, and she, she's in my house. Which is worse, that or getting a hand job from like some midlife fucking Asian woman who like, probably looks you in the face the whole time?
What
Hmm.
the fuck? That's so weird. Did you do this? Is that why you're asking?
No, I'm curious like what the experience is like. I've never been my whole life to a rub and tug. So I just like I don't know, I'm curious about it. They interest me.
Okay, well, please don't be so interested. It's
I
weird.
think they're funny. Like I'm not interested in like, ooh, that sounds nice.
I feel like you want to go research them, like for yourself. Oh my God, Carl's here. She
Yeah,
doesn't
like
make
for example, in a
sense.
long distance
I say you're
relationship,
allowed to go see a hoe.
Natalie, what
Sure.
if I'm on the phone with you while the woman does it?
Problems if you think I'm going to be on the phone with you while someone's doing that.
I mean,
Also, why are you bringing this up with Anne here? Like,
is
are
it
you guys
cheating if I get a
embarrassed, Anne?
colonoscopy and a doctor goes up my ass?
I feel like you're trying to make Anne uncomfortable.
I'm just saying, like, rub and tugs aren't as bad as people think they are. It's not cheating. If it
Yeah.
goes in their mouth, then yeah, that's cheating. But if it's just a handy, like, fuck, man.
Did you
Girls
read
can sit on a
Carl's comment?
bus on a bumpy road and have an orgasm. Guys,
Okay,
it takes effort.
Are you even able to hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, did you read Charles's comment?
Yeah.
He agrees with you because he's always on your side. I don't know what I have to do to get this guy on my side.
Oh, Charles is in.
Yep. Charles likes to be called Carl by me only for some reason, so I was just calling him by his preferred name.
When he changed his name, I thought he was going through another identity crisis. And you know, he has been in an accident and he got a boo-boo.
Oh yeah, we did see those videos of him getting in a fight with the security person. And then him and Stoney were getting into it yesterday. I hope they've made up. Did you see that yesterday in Tracy's chat?
No. Like it was
Women
said,
can be a handful and a
duh,
mouthful, and
duh.
Fuck off. Men can
Men
be
are
way
just
more
as
of a
bad.
handful.
That's why I'm glad I had 5 daughters instead of 5 boys, because you guys get weird.
no,
Yep.
men are easy. You fuck us, you feed us, you give us a place to fucking fall
Oh,
asleep in front of
God.
a TV, and we're happy.
Well, I got this to say to you. If you marry Natalie, you're going to do your 50-50.
Yep. You
Fuck
haven't been able
that.
to climb.
I don't even make what her 50% it would
I'm
require.
talking about housework, dude.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
not talking about.
housework? Fuck that. She
Don't
has
talk
a maid
about how
do
much
that
I
stuff.
Nah.
made.
Well, I'll tell you this much. The only housework my husband did was, well, I call it housework. He had to bring his own dishes in the kitchen because he liked that to eat a TV tray by his computer. But, and I wouldn't let him do my dishes or put my silverware away because it always pissed me off. He put them in upside. Silverware does not go in the drawer upside down.
I just want to raise Hamilton's blood pressure really quick and tell him that I also got a Lululemon backpack.
Okay, so the backpack, the sweater, the shoes, and then the dress. So that's like $1,000 you just fucking blew.
No, and just stop. That's not true.
Dr. Nostradamus.
Dr.
Oh
Nostradamus.
my god, that's funny.
Charles, my husband had it made being married to me. I did everything. He worked hard, like every man does. When you go to your job, you work your ass off. He worked hard.
Mm-hmm.
And when he came home, he didn't have to do anything.
Now,
Wow.
Yukon Ann, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not dating a rich bitch, so I can work hard the rest of my life.
Shut up! I'm not rich. What is wrong with you?
People think I'm rich and I'm comfortable. There's a difference between rich and comfortable.
Exactly.
I'm comfortable,
And
but
I
it's
mean,
it's my nature though. I'm a miser. I like to, as much money as I can keep. I can make a dime, pennies, anything. Scream. I get my
yeah,
value.
that's good. I need to learn to do that better.
I don't live in a fucking camper. Dork.
Girls,
Like
I'll
that's-
have you know that Natalie will make a great single mother.
I woke up in the middle of the night. I woke up in the middle of the night and nobody asked me to do this, but I just decided to randomly buy another Dyson product.
Oh my
And-
god, how much was that?
It was $500.
So that's like
Whoa.
$1,500 you spent in 24 hours.
You know,
But
I'm
it's your
actually
money.
exactly.
That's our kids' fucking braces.
Oh God.
No, I don't care. It's her money. She can spend it on whatever stupid
When
shit
I
she
start
wants.
making good money, I'm gonna start saving for my kids. Don't worry, okay?
Well, don't
So
invest it.
I
My
bought the
investments here are
Airstrait.
local.
What?
No, I said don't invest it, in the stock market. My investment's local.
Yeah.
You know, I was trying to get Natalie to invest in Dow Jones recently,
Uh-uh.
and she like just said, nah, she's not interested. But it's at like a record low, and recently it just seen a spike. Like you could have like got your money in, got your money out in like 2 days. Boom.
But you might have to pay a penalty.
No. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'm
Yeah,
a
you
Canadian.
penalty. But like,
I'm a
Like,
Canadian.
it just
it would be worth it though. But the Dyson I bought, it's called an Airstrait. So you know how like a hair straightener has those two hot metal plates and they
Yeah.
burn through your hair? So like instead of a hot flat iron, this is called an Airstrait, and what is it's just hot air, and it's supposed to
Oh.
straighten your hair with just hot air. So
Don't you create enough hot air?
$500 for a hairdo gadget?
yeah.
Oh my God. I thought you was talking about a sweeper. That's worth it.
You know, Yukon Inn, if it made Natalie's hair look nicer, she would have a Mexican come and fart on her once a month.
I would go to a beautician and see if I can get a discount on the best one.
Yeah,
I
or
know.
like talk to
Yeah.
someone outside of a store that boosts and buy it off them at like 50% discount.
Or get yourself a
Do
wholesale.
that. I bought it right off the Dyson website because I bought the lifetime warranty and I got $100 off with 2 free gifts. So technically, I paid $400.
Hmm. I thought you was talking about a sweeper. Now that's kind of worth it. Of course, they like to break down real easy.
I have a Dyson already for that.
You know, Charles, this bitch has me fucking begging online to help pay for my vet bills, and she's fucking blowing 1,500, which is more than some people make in a month in a night, in one day.
but you
Damn.
work for the money, you guys. Like, calm down.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Natalie actually did help with the vet bills.
Well, that was nice of her. See how much she loves you?
See?
Well, she loves Chico too. Like, you know, it's her
Yeah,
step
yeah.
baby.
It is my step baby, and
Who's
I
gonna
wouldn't
get-
want it to.
Who's going to get custody of the pup when you guys officially, totally, at the end, no more, break up?
My mom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, he would definitely have custody of his dog.
When
'cause
I
it's-
move to the States, I'm probably gonna have to leave him here.
Well, you don't have to.
Yeah, I don't want a home with pets in it anymore.
Hmm.
Hey,
Well,
Charles,
where you
if you
gonna
want me
put
to
'em?
send you some money, drop
your
your
mom?
cash app.
Natalie's house is like a fucking museum.
Hey, Blade.
Like she told me that I'm not even gonna be allowed to like bring my stuff in her house, that all my stuff's gonna have to stay in the garage.
Just don't take any plants through.
No, like she straight up said, like anything you bring like is garbage and has to stay in my garage. I'm like, what the fuck?
What are you trying to do? Fumigate
What?
it?
I never said that.
Yeah, she said all my possessions are worthless trash.
Jeez. Of course, you
Good.
might find the styles in the States a little different from Canada. So you might want to upgrade.
What's up, Blade
Hey,
Runner? What's
Azel.
up, Azel?
Hey, Azel. Hey, Blady. Charles, drop
Now
your
what-
cash app. I'll send you some money.
You know, Natalie, I think I'm gonna give Azel another chance.
The reason, good, thank you. The reason I'm offering to send him money is because he's claiming that he has to leave and he doesn't have enough money to even eat McDonald's.
God. I like Azel for a lot of different reasons, even when he's being a brat to me. I don't know
Just
why.
know that, yeah, he'll be a brat to you at some point, James, and just let it go because he does it to me too. And we
Yeah,
You know,
I guess
Natalie,
it's me
you should
too, and
show
I've
everyone
known him
that
for a long
3-pronged
time.
Temu curler that I got you,
Okay, I will.
and then demonstrate how to use it in front of
Mhm.
everybody.
And
Even though I
believe
don't know
this or
how.
not, Azel and I consider Azel as my friend. I don't care what he does. It's him doing it. It's not me. It's his opinion, not mine. But him and I had a knockdown, breakdown, almost to the blood, head battle in private stream, and I respect him for his opinion, and it kind of taught me a little bit more about this YouTube bullshit.
I have more respect for Hazel now that I've seen he can assemble a tent.
Oh, God.
A lot of people can't do that.
The way I said,
mean, it is true.
Hamilton, you're your own man. So is Hazel. He's his own man. If you don't like what he says, you don't got to listen to him.
It's funny because Charles was making me feel so sorry for him yesterday. He's like, I don't even have a fucking place to go or $1 to even eat at McDonald's. And then it was all to guilt Stoney into bringing him up food, a plate.
And
I believed him.
Charles, he's another story. Charles is very good at psychology. He'll reverse a motherfucker
Oh,
on
I
you, and you
know.
don't even know that. It took me a long time to get used to the way he is with people. But sometimes I like him, sometimes I don't. But it's my choice. At the
Sometimes
moment, I
you
like
feel
him.
like you're not. Sometimes you
And you
don't.
don't. You're right. At the moment, I like Charles because he's being somewhat human.
Yeah, sometimes he can be human. And so if you are broke, I'll send you money. Give me your Cash App.
So I'm pretty broke, Natalie. Not just financially, but also spiritually.
Okay,
Since
send
we
me your
got
Cash
together.
App. Send me your Cash App.
No.
There's no
Like
Cash
I
App
need
in
you to start
Canada.
going to church with me.
That's an idea. You might learn something, Hamilton.
It's not for me. It's just I figure if I can get her in church for like 2 hours a week, that's 2 hours a week. She's not online spending money. So it would be really good for my spirituality.
Oh, Lord.
I hate all of you.
Oh yeah, morally too. You're right, Blade Runner. She has broken me morally.
Oh, my Lord. Me and you're digging.
She even put
Sure,
a dent in my
broken
dick.
me, Morally, bitch.
Oh. How long has it been? 8 months?
Wait, the last time I saw him was last year. And so, yeah.
Wow.
She put a dent in it.
Hmm.
It hurts.
Mm-hmm. Get a couple of
How do your
popsicle
balls
sticks and tape.
feel?
Pretty good. Although yesterday, oh man, I smoked my nuts so hard yesterday, and it was so funny. I was just trying to shake a bag of soil loose so I could cut the top open and no soil would spill out. But when I like shook it down, it fucking hit me right in the sack, and I like almost died.
Oh, I thought you was clanging back and forth by shaking the bag.
Women don't understand how much like that really hurts.
Well, I wouldn't want to walk with that shit between my legs, I tell you. I don't think no
I've never
woman
met
wants to walk
somebody
with
like
that.
Hamilton whose nuts are always just getting injured. I don't know
Well,
a single
you know.
guy like that other than
Well,
me.
Natalie, when you become older and you have big ass, giant, fucking solid lead cojones like me, you tend to sit on them. They're like sagging around. You can't run anymore.
Yeah, you know what? A guy's appendage, his little think, that appendage is hemorrhoid gone wrong and came out in the front
Yeah.
instead of the back.
Oh, she's
Well-
giving me hemorrhoids too from stress.
Oh,
And she,
God.
and she
I've
makes
also
me
given
sit on
you
a giant
blue
ice cube while she makes me watch her eat.
Anything else?
She
No.
holds my head underwater.
You might be able to file for
No.
disability on this, you know.
She holds my head underwater, and like
You
any
already
bit
get
that
that.
comes out of the water, she burns with a lighter.
He already gets maximum
Well,
disability.
oh, sorry.
No, I'm
the
just
Blade
saying
Runner.
he already gets the max disability.
I do.
That's the only time that appendage is useful, Blade. And Charles, you gross me out with your butt crack. Well, your butt cleavage and your small feet.
I work an office job. I don't move sheds at the moment. So what's your office job,
Who said that?
Charles?
Oh, wow. An office job.
I know. I'm like, what the
Oh.
fuck do you do?
Office jobs are motherfucking boring.
You know, I
I
could
learned a
picture
lot
Charles
about
on the show The Office.
Been there,
I
done
know.
that.
He's like the
That's so
gym.
funny.
Well, if you got a lot of women around you and they love to gossip, it kind of passes the day. But when you're working and you don't, in an office job and you don't have that, then it's kind of fucking boring to
I
process
know.
paper.
Hey there, Pilgor and Pilgor and Dopey. And I
Hey,
don't have
Clayton.
an office job.
I'm not
wish.
122. Fuck.
No, she has an orifice job
Saying, like you're like
because she's a
Natalie, what the fuck-
dolphin. That's how they
You're
breathe.
like Natalie, why the fuck would you ask me where I work? I'm not gonna tell you. Like that's pretty much what you're saying. So I get it.
Wait,
I
do
get it.
dolphins have blowholes like whales have blowholes?
Nah, Blade.
What?
Natalie,
Huh?
do you have a blowhole like a whale has a blowhole? Like, I don't know about dolphins.
You got a blowhole.
Yeah. Doesn't help me swim, though.
Well, if you bent over and ate a lot of beans, it would probably make you swim.
I can't wait to go swimming. There's a rec center that's like a 2-minute walk from my front door, and it's been under construction for like 4 years.
The way you just dox places is so funny.
Me?
I love you. Yeah.
I don't care. Everyone knows where I live.
Oh, by the way, did you know that you can share your referral link or whatever? Land whales have blowholes too. Oh. Thanks for being here, Pilgor and Dopey.
No, I'm not saying she's a land whale. I'm saying she's a dolphin because of her voice.
Oh,
I am not.
Hey, Natalie, say yee 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 yeeky.
Go,
Do
go,
it.
go, go, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, see, just like a dolphin.
I wonder where Joanne is today.
I know, I did tell her I was live.
Yeah. Maybe
She was
she's busy,
actually
but
here
she'll be
earlier in
back.
my stream from the morning.
Yeah.
She's a busy lady.
Oh, yeah.
She's a lot busier than I am.
I
Yes,
should
we
be
saw
more
that Nikki supports women beaters. But what do you expect from Nikki? Like,
Yeah, she tries to cover it up for them because her entire life revolves around me. And she needs Dr. Sean Diddy Combs and his girlfriend to get at me. Duh.
Oh, I'm not a busybody, Charles, you little fucker. See? He's going to start being mean to me. I'm going to have to start being mean to you, Charles, and it's not going to be pretty.
Oh, yeah, give it right back.
Oh, yeah, I do. Well, in another 2 weeks, I'm going to be super busy because, it's getting that kind of temperature. You can pull out your deck furniture and shit like that,
Yeah.
tidy up. And, I got enough stuff every day to keep me busy.
Good.
And sometimes I just sit down and say, fuck it. I'll do it tomorrow.
That's kind of like me today. I didn't actually start cleaning my house until I started this stream, but I've been wanting to clean the whole day.
I don't
But
get energy until the sun goes down. Then I feel like wide awake, and that's when I want to do everything.
yeah, I'm the same way. Nighttime is my time.
Yep, me too.
Charles, if I got on my knees to pull weeds, I may not be able to get up.
We're putting Ann on her
Aw.
knees. We're gonna find a better use for her than pulling weeds.
Oh, fuck
Nah,
off.
I'm not saying nothing, but you'd have a fun time of your life. Much?
Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat. I'm removing this comment about Joanne.
So Natalie, you're saying if I paid money to Yukon Ann for a hand job, Yukon Ann wore a glove and made eye contact with me the whole time,
Listen, you're
that's
too young.
cheating?
And
She's
I
gonna
don't
handle this for me. I'm gonna
It's
let
too
her
y-
handle it.
He's too young, and I don't give hand jobs. It's straight to the good stuff.
Well, it's just for medical release. Like, you know,
And
it's like a nurse
I
flipping
wouldn't
a
touch you
fucking
with a
patient from
10-foot
one side to the
pole.
other.
Oh, she wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole, she said.
Okay,
You're
well, I'll
too
get you a
young.
15-foot pole and we'll put a flashlight on the end, and then will you do it?
God. Would I have to use the flashlight to find it?
Man, I'm gonna get in trouble if I keep talking like this.
Yeah,
You're not.
that could happen.
Anne is not an anal queen. What the fuck?
Could
You
be.
wish.
How do you know?
I'm not saying nothing. You do
I'm just
as
assuming.
a female, you be the best you can and make your man extremely happy,
Yep,
and they'll appreciate you for life,
I agree.
or at least till the end of the day.
At least you won't go to someone else, hopefully.
But I take care of the men I marry. I don't slam bam, thank you, ma'am, screw you loose and walk away, or bag it and tag it. I don't do none of that shit.
Yeah.
You know, if you do something nice as a man, if you do something nice for one of your bros, usually that bro will remember that the rest of his life. You do something as a man nice for your woman, and that lasts for about 3 hours until you say something stupid, and then everything you've ever done good for her just goes out the window.
Huh? But it don't work that way.
It does.
Well, it depends on what you're saying. It's got to be really bad if if everything you've ever done well is being thrown under the rug.
Blake,
You know?
my teeth are locked and loaded in my mouth, never come out unless I want them pulled.
You don't got no dentures.
Well, Natalie, what if he wakes up in the morning and messages his woman, "What's with the snaps?"
You know what? That's one thing I have heard. I'm going off the track here. Women who have dentures, they can take their teeth out, and it's known for goddamn good
Oh
gum.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
You know the
feels way
best part
better.
about a woman with dentures, like if she has full dentures, is like you can take the teeth out of her mouth and put them in her vag. So that way it's got
Ew.
like extra fucking, grip and tension.
Oh God. Gee.
Wow. That's disgusting.
No,
And then you
don't
put
judge
those
it.
teeth back in her mouth.
Don't knock it until you rock it.
Oh.
Have you done it?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Wow.
Girl says, and I agree. Disgusting.
You're foul.
I just had to believe that, well, if you're going to be a long-term relationship or, a husband or something like that, but if you're going to do the hit and miss and, bang it and slang it, it's just that, make sure your man's totally happy and satisfied. And if you ever make Natalie super happy, don't expect something in return.
Right?
So I gotta
Get
be
it
nice
because
to her
you
and give
care
her
about
everything I have and expect nothing in return. Gotcha.
Correct. Yep. Exactly. That's exactly
Do
what you need to do.
Do you expect everything something to do something for and then expect something in return? That's dumb.
Uh-huh.
I expect respect.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, that's fine. What she's talking about is like when you go and do something for someone and your intentions are they better do something for me, then those
So,
are
like,
not
if
good
I eat
intentions.
your pussy because I want some head,
Ah!
Wait a minute. Let me think about that.
That I can see that is okay.
Yeah, but it would mutually be done at all at the same time, like the old number. You're 69.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that's weird.
That's
It's weird. It's like an
Wow.
upside down blowjob.
So.
Satanic.
Oh God.
Clayton says you've done ATM, but I
What?
don't think they had ATMs back then, Clayton.
What the fuck is an ATM besides getting money out of?
I know, right? Wait, I
Or
just have
at
to
the
say,
moment,
I do know what that is, and I'm surprised the two of you don't.
I don't. What is it?
It's ass to mouth.
Oh
That's not what it means, Natalie. What the fuck?
no. I don't like recycled food coming out of that other end. Excuse you.
I'm not like into anal, so
It
Hmm.
means automatic transfer of money, Natalie.
It figures Blade Runner. You cut somebody short one. Jesus, asked him out. I mean, you're gonna get asked him out, Clayton.
You know what? The price
Sure.
to eat has gone up. The price to eat out has gone up. It's now actually 71.
You want to hear something bad here? I went to the store, a box, superstore, and I was looking at the roasts, and I seen one for $110 fucking dollars.
Ridiculous,
God.
right?
I thought,
Holy
my
shit.
my daughter, who's in the state, she says, "Well, you're way up there. It does cost more money to ship it up." And I said, "Not that goddamn much."
Yeah, not that much.
I mean, we get all our food by semis. It comes up.
Yeah.
I can
How
see,
much would it cost you for like a roast of, let's say, like venison or caribou?
well, it'd probably cost me about 40, 50.
So it's much, much cheaper than beef?
Yeah,
Well, that's good
apparently.
at least.
But just things. The food's been crawling up in prices up here. But I seen that roast. I'll put it this way. A lot of people must. I mean, it was moving down the aisle on where they keep all the meat because everybody was picking it up and couldn't believe. One woman took a picture of the price.
I'm not gonna lie, a
Wow.
caribou roast in my city would be so expensive that I've never actually even seen or heard of one.
Generally, a lot of my game, the moose and the elk and stuff, I have people that um, their families hunt
Yeah.
a yearly hunt, and so I get a lot of that stuff from people I know because like their First Nation,
That's
but
really cool.
I'm pretty well stocked up that way, because they make sure, and
That could be me, Natalie, if I didn't have a weapons ban.
Was your husband First Nation? And if you don't want to answer that, you don't have to.
no, my husband
No.
was a first generation Scot. Canadian. I'm a
Okay.
first generation Canadian. His parents were born in Scotland. But I just we boys have friends that one way or the other, the First Nation lady he used to work with in the government, she is First Nations, and she would always every year she's bringing in a big bag of meat. And first time she did that, he said, "What's this?" He said, "Well, this is some of the game we caught."
Wow. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
and like I said, that same lady, she'll give me a call and say, "Hey, you need some meat yet?" And I said, I'll tell her what I need, and I get it, because some meat game you're not allowed to sell, but we do have a game store here where you can buy certain other things. But and moose, particularly in the caribou. They got their bad part of them, but the less fat on something, the better.
I wonder how much a gram of cocaine costs where you live.
I don't know.
Probably like $600.
Now we're having trouble with gangs from Vancouver. Shit.
Wow.
Oh, really? Then it's probably cheap.
Well, people, I don't know right now. Well, I think last year, and I could be wrong, but last year I think 24, 26 people died from fentanyl here in town. And of course there is a cocaine issue, but they're really busting them. The cops and actually private citizens are busting them left and right, trying to get them out of the area.
Good.
But it's out of Vancouver. And
She
shit
says
that's
like
coming
that
in.
many died of fentanyl, but you got to consider like 170 died of polar bear attack. So I mean,
I
Really?
don't know about that.
what's the worst problem up there, fentanyl or polar bears? I don't know.
Are
We
you
don't have
serious?
polar bears, but we got
Are
bears.
you serious?
God.
170 people a year?
No, I'm just joking.
Oh my God. I was going to say, like, that's an uncontrolled problem. Can you imagine, like, the terror that they would feel if that was true?
One thing we don't have is a polar bear. Not in this area. Not even
You
up
will
north.
soon.
Well, yeah,
Why?
if you come over from Churchill.
Because polar bears are eventually going to have to like not be polar bears anymore. They're just going to turn into like regular bears.
Wait, and
Well,
is
they do
Churchill
mate
the
with,
place that has the jail for polar bears?
there's one place I know there's a jail for polar bears, and that is Churchill.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where it is.
At one point, because my husband was with the government, he was going to transfer up there until he found out what's up there, and I said, "Hell no, I'm not living among bears, not like that."
Yeah.
And see, they've lost the sea ice, so the bears can't get out on the sea ice, and so they've been having a big ass problem, and the bears they've been suffering now because if they can't get on the sea ice, they don't eat very good.
Right. Exactly. Let me see if I can find.
Basically, it's like this, Natalie. Imagine if they put a flight of like 100 stairs in front of all the fast food places. How would you eat?
Right.
You know,
Yep.
you would just starve.
Charles, don't spread rumors. Canadians aren't exactly doing that, but every once in a while there's that dumb son of a bitch up here that there was a shipment of drugs that came out of Mexico, went clear. They didn't catch in Mexico and U.S. border, but guess what? This delivery of all kinds of drugs, probably fentanyl among it, they got busted at the Canadian U.S. border. Now, why in the hell didn't the U.S. catch it?
An American icon named George died from fentanyl. Who is that? Okay, here you go.
But, and I believe him, and maybe I might be a fool to believe him, but the government of Canada says less than 1% of fentanyl is coming in or coming out of Canada.
Though, I don't doubt that like Canada does get loose with its fentanyl. I think that Trump's just doing this to get Canada to like force us to, tighten up our fucking drug policies and not let like
Well,
our
Canada
streets
did.
become full of drug addicts.
I mean, I hate. I'm not sure of. It's not in the millions. I think it was a 1 or 2 figure billion that they enforce the border. Canada enforce its border a lot more, and they bought some new military equipment, and all kinds of stuff. So I mean, Canada has fulfilled that request of Trump, and it's still going to do more. Canada will still do more. But the bulk of the fentanyl coming into the States through the border of Mexico or just coming into the States direct is from China.
So, is it like by you, Ann? Is it like this? By Hamilton, like every single corner has tents of homeless.
It's not like that in my city anymore, Natalie. They got
Oh,
rid of
good.
everyone. Yeah.
We didn't.
Really?
I've been up here for 25, 26 years, something like that. And well, 26, 27 years. And I've never seen a tent. You don't in Whitehorse, you do not see homeless sleeping on the sidewalk, sitting doing drugs or tents. You don't see it.
So then, in my opinion, Hamilton and Anne have completely different experiences of Canada. So they're going to have completely different views of what they see.
Yeah, Natalie,
like,
she's on the north coast. I'm like
Okay.
on the south coast.
I'm not on the north.
Oh my
I'm
God,
west.
look who's here.
Oh, Charlie. I'm not on the. I'm west coast. Actually, more. Oh, come on,
Ew.
Charles.
You're
Northwest? I don't know.
Um,
I'm like southeast. You're like northwest.
yeah, I'm 3 hours almost. Well, it depends on
Buttsville.
speed, but I'm 3 hours from Skagway, Alaska. So I mean,
So like,
I'm
isn't it
up
crazy
there.
that like you guys have like completely different experiences of Canada, but you're both in Canada?
Well, he was born and raised in Canada. I was born in the U.S. and
True.
came up here and had a massive culture shock. But
Yep.
you get used to it, and then I still love my home country. But at this point, being up here so damn long, one, I would miss the mountains, and two, I would not be able to survive. I could not
Yeah.
take the culture of the way the U.S. is right now. I couldn't. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So much has changed down there, and I would probably get lost in my own hometown. But he was born and raised into it, where I came into it, at a later age,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
But
probably,
also, he had tents everywhere for years under when Trudeau was in office, and now they're gone. Isn't that fucking weird?
yeah. Well, somebody did their job finally to clean it up,
Yep.
you know. But there is a housing crisis. It's up here. It's down where he's at. It's all over Canada, like it is in the States.
Yeah, but it's
Where do
not
they
just
keep
that
your
there's a
people?
housing crisis. There's a housing crisis plus an immigration crisis where we have
Oh,
like
yeah,
way more people coming than we can care for.
Yeah. I do know from shit. What was Ukraine? And there was another incident before that. Each time we get five families of refugees, mom, dad, and kids. But there's a church here and a government. They help them. Readjust and stuff like that. And I mean, everybody has a right to be safe. I guess. It's it just. I'm for Ukraine, regardless of anything else, regardless of what that Zelensky or the government, what they did or didn't do to the population. And nobody should have to go through that kind of a destruction. I mean, Putin has had hospitals and daycares and people's homes, and it just, I don't know.
This all comes full circle. Children, we need to protect the children in our own country before we worry about children in another country. And by allowing children to be living in homes where their mom is getting dragged across the house, we are causing children trauma, and we are fucking with our own kids. So we should worry about our own kids as well. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's just so sad because people are killing kids in Ukraine, and then over here you're just causing kids to see and suffer at the hands of abuse. It's all just so fucking sad.
World has changed a lot. You know, they think, what? You know, my age, I'm 73. And yeah, I lived in a bad home, if you want to call it.
Right.
I don't, well, there's other words I could call it, but I don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah.
You know, I can offend people really good. But, you know, it just, my time growing up in the 50s, we never had to worry about nothing. My dad didn't start being a meanie, you know, until I was like in my teens, you know, and I think once when I was 10. But it just, you know, times were different. They were more settled, more down to earth type. You know, you could keep your house unlocked, you could keep your car unlocked, you could play outside in the dark.
Right.
You know, if you're poor, you can still keep your doors unlocked.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
not much to take, yeah. But you know, just
So
and then
since
you
a lot
know,
of people in the chat are confused about what I'm talking about when I say that a woman got dragged, I'm gonna go ahead and play it really quick. And I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
include captions because I mean, in my opinion, she's probably getting dragged. She might be getting pinned down and hit, but I don't know. She could be getting dragged. So here, let me play it.
Oh no.
So let go of me. Let go of me again. Let go of me again. And that's 7 seconds. 3 let goes of me. There it is again.
I just heard him say, "Do you want to die?"
Yeah, he did say that. That's what everybody thinks he said, and I'm pretty sure he did. Let's hear it again.
If you listen carefully, that one part, that's where he says, "Do you want to die?" Hear that?
that's what it's on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, want to die?
This is love, right? This is love, right?
Hmm.
She said, dragging me across the house. That's what I mean by getting dragged. And
Yeah.
smacking me is love, right?
Get out!
He said, yeah, get out.
You don't want to be here.
I think he's done with her.
So for those of you who were wondering what I meant by getting dragged. No, it wasn't role play. The fuck. And even there were people there that were there the whole day during the stream that were his friends, that he had their back, and they don't even have his back for this.
And I think at the end, the last thing she says is something about being hit in the eye. If you listen to it, it's like, you hit me in the fucking eye or something.
Let's play it one more time. Let me see.
Well, she was. She got a black eye.
Yep.
And Nikki defends this.
Hey, get out! Leave! You don't want to be here. Get out!
She said something about the eye at the end. I didn't hear it though.
Yeah, she says something like, you hit me out or something. You're hitting me out, it sounds like.
Oh yeah, and speaking of icky face, smelly waist, this is
That's his next girlfriend.
Yeah, this is actually her on his panel, like I think that day or the next day, where she was
so
trying to help
gross.
him come up with like excuses for his behavior. So here, let's listen.
Listen, y'all can hear. I'm not gonna hold the other back. Y'all listen. Yeah. Get out, baby, get out, leave. I don't want to leave.
So he's speaking over it. He's not allowing anybody to hear what's actually said. He's just speaking over it, pretending like he's saying what's being said.
There's no such thing as the nigga said drag me.
Drag me across the house. Smacking me is love, right?
That's Nikki coughing, by the way. Nikki, fucking stop smoking. Your lungs can't handle it.
Yeah, open a window. And you know what? Before you press play, can I just say that Dr. Trichome does all that smoking in a house where like the family lives? Like he doesn't even go outside or anything. Like that whole family has to breathe in his secondhand smoke all day while he sits there getting faded and drunk.
Nasty. And so not only are these kids being subjected to watching their mom get tortured and beat and drug across the house, but they also have to inhale that smoke. That's awesome.
Does he smoke weed or just cigarettes?
Listen.
Both.
Y'all can hear. I'm not gonna
And,
hold nothing back. Y'all listen.
Honestly, they all sound like a bunch of tweakers, like when the welfare money runs out.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all fighting over the last fucking 10, 20 bucks.
If they're such great weed growers, why are they causing this type of ruckus over sharing weed?
I know, right?
Get out. Get out. Baby, get out. Leave. I don't want to leave. There's no such thing as the nigga said drag me.
Drag me across the house. Smacking me is love, right?
I hear my dogs barking because
You have upset the dogs, damn it. You two need to knock it off.
You're a fucking retard.
See, he's got Nikki on his panel with him trying to like make this all go away.
Now go find something, bro. That's
Right.
what he said he just posted. Wow.
No, what did that prove? I'm sorry. I must be high. I don't. What?
That I
Yeah,
beat
you
the
must
fuck
be
out of
high,
Sammy and
some
drug
bit.
her out the house.
When isn't she?
Fake laugh.
That's.
I don't know. I think
didn't
she
hear that other
genuinely
girl arguing
finds
in the
domestic
dog's
violence
sleep. Now,
and
you
things
motherfuckers
like
need to
that
quit
funny.
fighting.
So where's the
Possibly.
where's the God? Oh my God, you beat me up.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Where's that
where's all
part?
that stuff?
Okay, this whole thing's stupid. Sorry.
Well, I wouldn't doubt Nikki's stoned all the damn time, 24/7. Seems to be her life, you know. I mean, and she talks about if I cough, look, at least I got a reason for it.
You know what's funny? His girlfriend, that girl that was like, you heard getting assaulted, she claims to like work double shifts. Meanwhile, she's just out cheating on Dr. Trichome. And he's like dumb as mud. So, I don't know, man.
Hmm.
How do you
Sticky
find a girl?
situation.
How do you find a girl that's gonna work double shifts while you sit on your ass and beat her? That's like some weirdo
Well,
shit.
if that's what she's doing, if she's working double shifts, she can afford to be on her own, I guess.
No, she ain't working no double shift. She's working double dick.
Hmm. No, I don't condone any man. Actually, if a woman would hit a man for just no fucking reason, because she just feels like it, I don't condone that either.
Yeah.
You know?
Like when she's at work, he's supposed to be like taking care of the family because he's like the house bitch, right? So all day when he's doing these streams and shit, you can tell like this guy's getting fucked up, man. Like he ain't taking care of his family or doing shit for them.
If he's sitting smoking weed, well, you know, there's a debate on both, but if he's sitting there smoking weed and doing the smoke while the kids are in the house, yeah, I don't condone that shit either.
I think
No.
it's Joanne thinks it's Stockholm syndrome, and Joanne was giving her the link to
Dude, I think he
all of
chops meth or something. Cause like, how can he afford to like sit on his ass all day every day?
you're AI generating my yearbook picture now, you idiots.
What?
Someone just came in here and said, "Hey Natalie, we found your school yearbook picture today. Funny stuff."
I bet
Now
it
they're
would be
gonna
funny
AI.
stuff.
God.
You know what? I think I've seen it, to be honest with you.
I think
Not like a
Natalie would have
yearbook
been a
photo,
cute
but a
little girl.
graduation photo.
You're funny.
I'd like to see you in Hamilton when you was a kid in kindergarten.
I posted pics.
Must have missed them.
Too.
Natalie probably has pics in her phone of me when I was a kid.
I
was an
do.
ugly little shit when I was in kindergarten. I improved with age.
I had fucked up teeth when I
Yeah.
was a little boy, but they eventually like just straightened themselves out.
Oh, Clayton, that took a lot of brain cells to work up that sentence. You know, you're in the same classification as rotters. Are you rotters? Shit. Clayton and somebody else are trying to compete with rotters when it comes to typing smack on me.
And
Yeah.
I know for a fact that they didn't have yearbook photos at Camel College.
Yeah. Guess not.
I can
Well,
just
yeah, I
tell
did.
your yearbook photo probably said under it, most likely to.
Actually, Blade, I didn't
That's
ride a
funny.
T-Rex to school. A T-Rex was my pet, but I couldn't potty train him, so I let the fucker go.
Have you guys seen the new robot transportation thing they're coming out with?
No.
It's supposedly like riding a horse or something, but it's like a robot and it's
Oh.
fueled by hydrogen.
Damn.
No.
We want to be around when that thing blows up.
I think Natalie is as American as they come. Why?
Yeah,
Because you support
Why?
fast food restaurants and you like cookouts. I don't know.
Oh, by the way, Anne, this name is actually Digger. And it's like
Yeah.
confirmed. Yeah.
Do you guys know that Anne has an autographed Bible?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't get Jesus' signature. I got Moses though.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't Moses come before Jesus?
Hmm.
So it's even more rare.
Hang
Shows
on a minute.
the Bible we know. No, but it is funny though, whenever we talk about them, how they come in here and make doxing threats. I was talking about them and they came in here and they're trying to scare me because they're going to use AI to like make yearbook pictures of me. Oh, you're so cool.
They should use
Yeah.
AI to like make a resume and then get themselves some employment.
Exactly.
Nikki had that program, where she made herself, and there's all kinds of them out there, made herself look much better. I got the same program, and I paid for mine. I didn't do the freebie like she did, but I got the same program I paid for and did the same thing. And she went nutty wacko on me. She would take those damn pictures and alter them. She couldn't handle that a 73 or 72-year-old woman at the time could do that with a program. You're catfishing. What the fuck I am. I got all kinds of movies and stuff of me using those programs. I wouldn't post a couple of them, man, because they're a little bit seductive. Shit.
Oh, really, Anne?
Yeah. It was, I used a picture that
If you're not wearing any pants, then you better come up on panel and have a party with me.
Charles,
looks aren't everything. You
no
guys,
butt cleavage.
and to prove this,
You look sexy.
Oh, you're blind.
You look so fucking sexy.
gonna go
I just want to
lighter?
hump you.
You going lighter?
I
Damn.
think this
Yeah,
is
he
pretty
dyed his
light
hair
for
blonde.
now.
Oh.
I'm gonna give it like a
I'm-
month before I go any lighter.
Well, yeah, but I thought maybe just a next level lighter, and then do a black streak.
I'm actually like planning to go
Summer.
silver.
Oh, platinum. It looks good on you, but I still like the dark hair.
Wish you would have kept your camera on. I was like really turned on.
Well,
Oh,
then
God.
turn off, because
Wait, so Charles thinks that you have a bitch on the side?
yeah, you're on my
not
side
your-
and you're my bitch.
No, like a side bitch.
Charles, I don't have a police record in Indiana nor in Canada. Shove it.
Dude, if I had a side bitch, would I seem this fucking depressed? Come on.
Oh, so I make you depressed?
Yeah,
course.
he misses you.
What's
You're
a
my
twink?
wifey.
What's a twink? I'm gonna Google it. What is a twink?
It's not food, Natalie. Calm down.
Oh, so he thinks you look bisexual with that hair.
I did not, Charles. I can prove it.
Well, I mean, $20 is $20.
Yeah,
James.
I made a lot of trouble in Indiana. Paralegal for a lawyer. Yeah, I really riled that town up.
You riled that son of a bitch up.
I passed a security clearance in Canada. And you don't pass security clearance unless you got a good damn background history. Dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I did a background check on Natalie, and in fact, her back is round.
Hey.
Like your butt.
Oh, is
But
that all
it's a
you know?
joke. That's a
Honor
funny
with your
joke.
butt?
I'm just kidding. I love you. So, can you turn on your camera so we can see your bisexual hair?
I'm a man of many hair colors.
And you did this yourself.
Yeah.
You did a good job. From
I've
what I
been
see.
dyeing my hair since I was a troubled youth.
Since you was a troubled, yeah, you're, excuse you, dude, you're a troubled adult.
I might just go make
You're
some
having growth
green
pains.
fucking food
So
dye and
true.
go dye my hair green.
He's having, Natalie, it's all, it's growing pains. You'll get through it.
No,
Try.
Natalie, so I'm dyeing my hair green and I want to be called Hammy Eyelash. You know, like Billie Eyelash.
Yeah, I get it. You're fucking hilarious. Shut up.
But don't go rainbow because you really get the dates in.
Exactly.
You know, rainbows weren't always gay.
Mhm.
He's
I'm just
dyeing
saying.
it blue and becoming a lesbo Democrat. Is
You
this
know what's
true?
worse than a Democrat? A Republican. Shove it.
You know what's worse than a Republican and a Democrat?
But,
Darth Vader.
oh, God.
You know what's funny?
How would you know, Charles?
Icky Face tried to turn me into Ash Trevino, but bitch, you look more like Ash Trevino than me.
You know what's funny? No one here knows who that is but you.
I know. No, but
Maybe
the
like
thing
two
is,
other people.
she probably doesn't even know who that is. She just saw a picture, doesn't realize that that's a doll that's shaped like Ash Trevino from TikTok, and doesn't realize she looks more like Ash Trevino, and Ash Trevino is more her age than mine.
Mm.
You know, talk about TikTok. My daughters didn't realize this because I got a couple TikTok addicts, that it's owned by a company in China, I think, and
Mhm.
it's
Yes,
the company is communist,
correct.
and
Except for
nobody's
they have
worried about.
offices in the United States.
True, but nobody's worried about their data being taken.
Well, the thing is that there's a lot of myths about it, right? So the myth is that it's just going, all of the data is just going wherever. The data from the United States is technically all being handled in like an office in Texas.
Well,
You know,
By
how
like,
can they take my data when he's been gone for milk for 30 years?
your
you know,
data,
it depends on what kind of data. I mean, like Facebook
right?
basically does the same.
Exactly.
I mean, they get my let's see, birthday, and if I put any relationships on it, they don't get my social security number. They don't get my credit card numbers.
Yep.
What are they getting? You know, a
Right.
picture. You know, family members. You know, you don't put your shit. You know, your info on Facebook. You know,
Right. I don't.
I've been a
Hey,
member of
buds.
Facebook since I first joined up on Facebook in 2007.
Fucking Temu's worse than Facebook.
Oh yeah, I don't order nothing from that place.
So if you were gay, apparently Charles would already know, and so you're not gay, apparently.
Okay. Well, thank God. I always wondered. It's good to know.
Charles, there's this group called the P Gay We Are. I hate to make you sit through one of their streams, but you should go sit through one of their streams because you'll definitely get Foxtrot Alpha Golf vibes.
See, now I don't associate gay people with that word.
He typed it.
Oh, yeah, but you repeated it.
Okay, well, I'm just repeating it because he typed it, and that's the way that he said it.
I don't think being gay makes you a faggot. I think voting for Kamala Harris makes you a faggot.
Shut up, Hamilton.
What?
We do not talk politics here.
You know, one day as a social experience or as a social experiment, like 20 years ago, I went out for a day dressed up as a woman to see what it was like. And I found out that women get called faggot a lot. Like, how do you women deal with that?
I don't know. I read something a long, long time ago that when we're born, well, could have been a stupid article, but when we're born, we're actually bisexual, and then our chromosomes or whatever, and then it does the switching. Either one way or the other way. But when we're born, I guess, like red, they said we're bisexual at birth. If that's a possibility, I don't know.
Well, I will say that the Catholic Church probably would hate that.
I don't like fucking baloney.
That's what you think, Natalie, but the Catholic Church is all like secretly like fucking gay with each other.
I know.
Like 100%. You ever see the way the Vatican like army dress? Or their guard or whatever they call them?
Mhm.
Like, yeah, they're gay.
You don't have to be gay, but don't you?
To be like the Pope, I'm pretty sure you have to have at least like effed some boys.
Hamilton,
That's how it works, Natalie. That's how they get high up in the priesthood.
Yeah, there's that conspiracy. I've seen it on YouTube where they like have to sacrifice, which is fucking nasty, fucking vile, fucking perverted. Those people should be dead if they're doing that, like sacrificing people to get to the top. Like the fuck? Ew.
Catholicism is actually Satan worship.
I'm sure that like the people that are doing it though don't have that intention. Like the people at the bottom, they're not intending on worshiping Satan.
No, they're just bottoms. It's the
Right.
tops that are satanic.
My family is of a Catholic background on my mom's side.
Me too.
And I have found, because I attended Catholic church too, I was trying to find myself. That they're the biggest fucking hypocrites. I mean, there's a good Catholic, but they're the biggest fucking hypocrites I've ever run into. And some of them were in my own family.
Me too.
And I thought, you know, And these are devout people? Nope.
No, thank you.
But I
The more I
checked out,
dug into Catholicism, the more I realized that like the whole religion is fucking blasphemous, and it comes from like the Roman Empire,
well,
and
the
they like
Vatican.
that's like Satan's fucking seat.
Now
you
I
know?
read this, and I don't know if it's true because I really didn't check it out. But I read that big, huge circle in front of the Vatican. That's underneath of it is, you know, the track where lions and gladiators or the what those things they used to drive chariots. That's what's under that, an old chariot place,
Wonderful.
and now actually the Vatican is built on ruins of the Roman Empire.
The Vatican is the fucking Roman Empire, pretty much. It's like the last vestige of it.
Well,
And that supposedly the Vatican is supposed to fall. The Catholic religion is supposed to crumble down or something like that.
If the
Catholic
Vatican
Charles,
was good and the Pope was cool, would Sinead O'Connor have ripped up his photo on Saturday Night Live?
She
Well-
paid the price for it though.
well, Charles, I'm glad that I'm not Catholic anymore so that you can get married to me. I'm just kidding, Amy.
I
Yeah, I had
believe
a-
that the body is the temple and like that God resides in all of us.
Well, if it's a temple, why are you shoving abusive shit into it like I do?
I
Smoking
don't.
a cigarette.
Well, sometimes you got to burn some incense to honor the temple.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
No.
Let's see. Throughout my years, I have defaced the temple. I have drank booze, smoked cigarettes, had one joint years ago.
Wow.
So I mean,
you, Ann?
hey, Saudi,
You, Ann?
I didn't hear that. Something muffled.
Write about Scientology for $340 a year, making it's confusing as fuck. I don't understand that math.
Well, I don't.
And hello, Salty Pickle. Welcome.
I don't believe in. This is where I'm going to offend people. I don't believe in Jehovah's Witness. I do not believe in the Mormons. I do not believe in the
Me either.
Scientology. There's one more.
I kind of believe the Jehovah's Witnesses are closer to like the truth about God than fucking the Catholics are.
You're probably right.
But I think the best are the Amish.
They stick to the Bible. Bad.
I would say whoever wants to do whatever they want, I'm fine with it, as long as you don't start a cult and start hurting children. That's what I care about, like protect the kids. Because
The
the
only
Mormons
religion, yeah,
breed, the Mormons breed cults, and those cults end up with dead children, which is really sad, and it's happened very recently. So,
I identify as a German Baptist.
okay.
That the church I used to go to eons ago. I don't even know if it's still intact. First Brethren, and that's a German Baptist, and they call them the German Baptists. I don't know about the other religions, but they're called the dunkers because to get baptized you get dunked, under the water.
Mhm.
The damn
Yeah,
old ground.
as a baby.
It doesn't
Well,
have anything to do with Dunkaroos.
No, I got
Wait,
dunked.
not as a baby. That's the Catholics.
Well, as a baby, I have been. What is that? I've been Christianed, and I have. Oh, there's the other word that they call for christening.
Baptized?
Yeah, I've been christened and baptized. I was Christian as a baby,
Come in a different name.
and baptized later in life. But and like I said, I damn near drowned in that because you put me underwater, I don't even bubble. I just gulp, and water goes in my throat, in my mouth, down my throat, and in my lungs.
You know what's funny? I think fat
Standing
people
water,
are
then.
better swimmers than skinny people.
No, I can't swim at all. I can't swim. I cannot float. I've been trying. I've had near drownings. Every time I tried to learn how to swim, I damn near drowned from the attempt. So I gave up, and I damn near drowned about 6 times now because I kept getting thrown in the river or in the lake, and this little chick can't swim a lick. I cannot
Aw.
swim or float. See, when I was a little kid, my parents and my grandmother they lived near a gravel pit, and there was water at the bottom. Well, I got out of the door or something like that, and anyways, I fell into it and landed on the bottom of this water in this gravel pit, and luckily they see me missing right away, and I got rescued. But I remember, and I mean, I must have been 4 or 5, something like that. I remember sitting in the bottom of that damn lake, and why I didn't drown, I don't know. But I still remember seeing stuff down there when I was in the water.
Wow.
But yeah, I would love to learn how to swim, but nope, I can't. I just can't do it. I won't even, I mean, if it's a big Olympic-sized swim pool, you wouldn't see me in it. Not even on the low end.
In the shallows?
This chick would drown in the shallow.
Oh my gosh.
The reason I would say this chick, I'd be in the shallow part of this Olympic pool net, and my ass would be sliding down into the deep part.
I don't mind the deep pool, but like open water, like a lake or an ocean, and once it gets deep, fuck that, man. I don't want to get eaten by a shark or something worse that's lurking down there.
I can like it used to go to Lake Michigan a lot, and I could walk into Lake Michigan water up to my waist, but I can't go any further than that. But when it gets up around my chest, I start losing my breath.
Mm.
Imagine
wonder
being
why.
out in the middle of a Michigan lake and you feel something grab at your foot, and you look down, you see Jesse, and you're like,
Oh shit!
A
I
lake
don't know.
monster covered in seaweed.
like
And garbage.
When I lived I lived in South Bend, Indiana, and that's pretty much at the bottom of Lake Michigan, and so we would go up to the dunes up there, and party like hell. Of course, everything's changed now. You can't do it, but back in the day when I was a teenager, that's where all of us kids were. We was up at the dunes partying and drowning in the Lake Michigan. It's called the Indiana State Dunes.
My mom never learned to swim either, and we live in Arizona, and there was a lot of pool parties in the summer, so.
how do you not like know how to swim just like as an innate ability? Like, I bet you can swim more than you're giving yourself credit for.
You just said that when the water starts to hit her chest, she feels like she can't breathe.
Yeah, but that's anxiety.
Well, yeah, because I damn near drowned as a baby or, a little kid sitting at the bottom of a gravel pit filled up with water.
Mm-hmm.
And it stuck with me.
So it's PTSD.
Yeah, I guess.
See, my parents got me used to water when they tried drowning me in the bathtub when I was a baby. So
Wow.
water was like second nature to me. Surprised I didn't develop gills for how often they tried drowning me.
Do that.
Oh, yeah,
No,
for real.
I know. There's another thing that triggered me. And probably two of them made me where I cannot learn to swim because, I don't get terrified. It's just like, I can't deal with it. But my mom, as a little kid, and I still get after my mom for doing it. When she would wash my hair, she'd bend me over the kitchen sink, right? And then all this water was going over my head into my face. And that's the other thing I had problems with. It took me a long time, even as an adult, to bend over and wash my hair because I would lose my breath because the experience of the water going over my face. So there was that. And then, falling into water as a kid. That's probably why I can't swim or float.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I had
Dude.
a traumatic life.
Salty pickle, I won't lie. I'm so fat nowadays that like I can barely see my dick. It's getting bad. I have to lose some weight.
Is that necessary to tell him?
Yeah.
You got a tummy pud. You got a baby bump.
I'm like 9 months pregnant.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Let's
I can
see.
top that. I just had 2 brand new grandkids, or great grands.
Oh,
Twins.
congratulations!
Yeah. I had
Can we
told
see your baby bumps, Hamilton?
Yeah, let's
No.
see your baby bump. Well, then
I'll show you
don't
my
talk
baby
about-
batter.
Oh God. Your dipstick.
My T-ball set.
Oh well. No comment.
You know who definitely should not have any more kids?
Who?
Dr. Sean Diddy Combs and Sammy.
You know what's funny? Natalie can't swim, nor can she ride a bike.
I can swim and I can kind of ride a bike.
Even I can ride a bike.
I've never seen you swim.
I swim better than you, bitch.
Bitch, I brought you to a pool and you said it was too cold.
I swim better than you, bitch.
I don't know. We'll see. Next time you come over, I challenge you. I want to know all about your breaststroke.
Not my front stroke.
No.
I don't even think you can swim, Hammy.
I can swim. I just don't move fast in the water because I'm so hairy.
You
I
pee in the
float like
pool.
seaweed. It's fucking amazing.
You pee in the pool.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Depends.
It depends.
If it's like a humongous pool, then yeah, maybe. I don't intentionally, but if you gotta go, you gotta go.
That's like putting a candy bar in the pool. What was that movie? Caddyshack?
Have
I
you
think it
seen
was-
that?
Oh yeah. Now I'm trying to think of the actors that was in it. Caddyshack is a long time ago.
Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, and Bill.
That
Bill
guy
Murray?
from Saturday Night Live. What's his name? Chevy Chase.
Yeah, Chevy Chase. I was thinking Bill Murray is Chevy Chase. Yeah,
I think Bill Murray was in it too.
that was so fucking funny. I watched that movie one too many times.
I'll have to see that. I've never seen it.
Yeah,
Some
it's
people,
suspicious how you've never seen anything, Natalie.
I was never really into like movies other than like going to movie theaters here and there.
I don't know. I think you were at some like Iranian training facility your whole life, and like they just unleashed you when you like turned 30.
well, they
Whatever.
say that if you watched Archie Bunker, nothing can
All
offend you.
that.
Yeah, and it didn't work on me because there's certain things that still offend me. But I used to watch Archie Bunker. I wasn't too fond of the boyfriend and husband Meathead, but you know,
hmm
I liked the wife.
Yeah, but he didn't just call him that because he was Polish. They called him that because he was fucking dumb,
Uh,
right?
yeah,
And it's okay to make fun of Polish people. They have a good sense of humor. They like being mentioned.
I don't. Well, I don't like gay people being attacked, and I don't like to hear racist terminology on people.
Charles, is this Sarah that did this? Some person let 20 plus animals locked in a burning building shed. Only 4 animals survived, 1 chicken, 3 dogs who all came running out in the highway on fire. Wow.
Jesus. Huh.
Made
Are
up
you sure they just
story.
weren't having a cookout? Like I've seen some cookouts where way more animals get fucking cooked up and no chickens survive.
What y'all gonna do tonight?
Drugs.
Oh,
Just
it's
eat
only
a little bit of
3:30
food.
here.
Better not do no fucking drugs.
You know what's funny? Like I wish when I was a kid that I was like exposed to the wide world of like adult things, because like if I was given coffee and weed and maybe a little bit of booze here and there, I never probably would have experimented with like harder drugs.
See,
Like
you never
I
know
didn't
though.
know
You
how
could have
fucked up.
been
Sorry.
dead. You could
What?
have been dead sooner.
I didn't know how fucked up like coffee and weed can make you. Like
Yep.
if you have a little bit too much coffee and a little bit too much weed, man, that's almost as good as a mushroom trip.
I never abused the drugs, hard drugs, illegal drugs, none of that shit when young. But when I got old, I have them prescribed for me. One way or the other in life, you're gonna get the damn drugs.
Mm-hmm. One way or another, whether you're young and doing it when you're not supposed to, or when you age.
Yeah, you're gonna do it. Drugs either way.
I wish I was given
Hey, Callie.
coffee when I was a kid.
I think I told you that first, bitch.
My grandpa used to give me coffee. He'd sit at his kitchen table and I'd be visiting my grandparents. He said, sit down and make you a cup of coffee. So, but I told him to stop putting the milk in it because I don't like coffee with milk. So
Oh my
he gave me
god, you were
he gave me black coffee.
sophisticated.
Yeah, my grandpa, he'd give me some toast and coffee and then tells me to dunk the toast in the coffee.
Aww.
I had my first cup of coffee at Detox when I was 29 years old.
And the only coffee
And I was so
drank,
fucked up from that cup of coffee. I'm like, whoa, my God. Like, this shit's legal.
we have somewhere in town, I forgot where they moved to. It's called the Midnight Sun Roaster, which is a place that roasts coffee beans and Makes all kinds of different brands from all over, flavors from all over the world, as long as it's coffee. But they had this one cup of coffee. I'm not kidding you. That first sip, if you had not had coffee and nothing in your stomach, man, that shit gave you a buzz and a half. And if you drank the whole damn cup, you were buzzing for a fucking week.
And then you add a little bit of
strong.
weed to that, you might
Oh my
start
God.
fucking hearing things.
Hearing
Right?
things and trying to figure out where in the hell you can jump off the cliff so you can fly. No, I mean, that coffee was strong. I mean, I wound up, and that's why I don't drink brewed coffee anymore. I'd go down there and get me a cup of that. It was called Old Joe. Man, they should have called it a speeder. That thing got me so buzzed up in it. I don't know how I made it home. You know,
Wow, I
driving-
want that stuff.
all that stuff was strong. Pure outright black gold. Yeah, it was strong.
Wow.
But I'm not sure what I'm gonna have for supper. I'll make something. I'll just open the freezer and because I have portion meals in the freezer.
Oh, good. That'll be easy.
Yeah, that's what I do with them when I cook. I cook a big batch of something and then I portion it and then put it in the freezer.
And then you can just thaw it or whatever.
Yeah, I put it in the microwave.
Hmm.
I always tell myself I'm gonna do that, but I end up like eating the whole thing in like 2 days.
Well, if you know you're gonna do that, there's no point wasting the freezer.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you cook too much and you got quite a bit left, get your containers out and portion it out, freeze it.
Is that what you use that vacuum seal thing for?
Yeah, I'll buy roast, in if you can find them at decent price, and I slice the roast up, and each slice is a meal of some sort, and I get about maybe 12 slices out of a roast or more, and then I
Wow.
vacuum seal it, each slice of meat, and then put it in the freezer.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome.
Hey, did you guys see KFC's new commercial?
No.
It's fucking weird, man. Like, I'm pretty sure KFC is admitting to using like some type of humans in there.
Ooh.
You have it,
And their
can you
food.
share it?
Can I share it? It's not my commercial.
I was
Well, I mean,
wondering.
can you try to find it?
You're the fucking computer person. I'm on my phone.
Fuck you.
I wonder if
I'm
you
just
can
kidding,
use
I'll
a
try to find
vacuum
it.
sealer to keep your weed fresh, or would it?
Yeah,
Ooh.
it works.
It does?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It'll also keep a dead body fresh.
Oh.
Oh, have you tried it?
No comment.
We know what
Go
he's
ahead,
going to
tell
do with his
us.
dog when his dog passes. He's going to vacuum seal it.
Oh, God. Don't give him any ideas.
I think I'm gonna have him taxidermied.
That'll cost you $1.
Not that much. Can't be that much.
Does
Like
the
all they
Italian
do
have
is
a-
remove the guts and like put in some fucking styrofoam.
or salt.
Okay, let's see if we can find the new KFC commercial. Okay, here it is. Okay, share.
No, she eats like a duck.
A mouth like a Hoover? What does that even mean?
Do you suck good?
Oh, it's funny.
Oh,
I love you, Anne. I
thought
love
you were
how
talking about how she eats.
I should know, but I don't know. Okay, ready?
What in the cannibalism did I just watch? KFC released this commercial, and it's probably the weirdest, maybe the most disturbing commercial I have ever seen. This commercial
You should try to pause it every like minute or so.
and
Okay, thanks.
He makes eye contact with this chicken, and this is where things start to get really weird. This girl starts coming
Oh
a girl
no.
comes.
A girl comes.
in and takes him to this cult-like ritual that's going on where they gather around, come down from the trees, and they raise him up in the air. After this, everyone just runs away, and then this massive egg comes.
Weird.
And it looks like they're worshiping this golden egg, you know. And then eventually the girl walks this man to the lake, which is actually gravy because the commercial is called All Hail
Very weird. This is not an appetizing commercial.
Gravy. He grabs this man, puts him inside the gravy until he can no longer breathe. You can see the bubbles stop, so he's clearly unalived. She pulls him back up.
What the fuck?
And he's a fried piece of whatever the heck they call.
Okay, yeah, that's fucking creepy.
That was instructional.
Wow.
Where
Look,
do you
maybe
see
that's
this
one of
weird
the like unique blend of spices that KFC uses. Maybe it's people.
Soylent
Possibly.
Green.
I don't want them to use me though.
No, I think they
Anyways.
just use like aborted babies.
Well, if you're talking about actual coffee beans, Kelly, Brazilian coffee beans taste better than most pork.
Do you want to taste her?
I wouldn't want a Kentucky Fried Chicken human or breaded.
Me
human.
either.
I'll pass. Jeez.
Been able to clean my house, so successful stream. And the moral of the story, I feel like I want to say that at the end of my streams. That was something I was thinking of, so I'm gonna end the stream. But the moral of the story is we do not beat our partner, especially in front of children, because by beating our partner in front of children, we are causing problems for that generation.
Yeah, you pass
That's
the
not
abuse on. Now they're gonna go and beat their partner, or maybe worse, their kids.
Or you could be sending them to school and they're beating other kids, and then that becomes someone else's problem, and that's not fair.
Yeah, or it could be worse. They could be in a gas station beating men off.
You know, I mean,
Oh God.
I'm not a perfect person. I'm flawed. I'm flawed from childhood, and that's, you know, but I knew when I had my own kids, I would not treat my kids the way I was treated as a kid, because it keeps the vicious cycle going,
Exactly.
and you don't want to normalize anything. Might be
You know-
normal for you, but it may not be normal for your kid. Don't normalize cussing. Don't normalize drinking. Don't normalize smoking weed and shit in front of your kids.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
sitting with the door open.
You know,
Uh-huh.
well, like I said, I mean,
Natalie.
Yep.
do you? I got a dumb question, and this is one of my flaws, and I can't understand this with men. When you go to the bathroom, whether you got to go pee or the other, do you leave your bathroom door open?
No,
I do.
I have to open it though if my dog like comes to the door.
I
Because
find that
sometimes he wonders where I am, and I have to open the door and be like, "I'll be out in a minute."
I've had two husbands, one a divorce and one that passed away, and both men persisted on keeping an open. Well, this would be second husband, no kids. First husband had kids, but he always abdicated keeping that door somewhat open. And
Why?
I'd have to corral. I don't know. I'd have to corral my kids into the living room so they wouldn't float around, seeing the dad sitting on the john. with an
No,
open
see
door.
that? No. Like
That was-
when that's fucking weird. Like when me and
Yeah.
him have kids, we're gonna close the door, but when it's just him and I'm like codependent on him and I need him.
Well,
Yeah, that's weird. Like, I never want anyone to ever hear me shit. Like, I'll run water when she's here. And then, like, when I'm pushing to take a dump, I'll, like, cough so she doesn't hear it.
I pee with the door open.
I live alone. I still close the door. It's like, who's going to be watching? You never know. I might have a ghostie in this house, looking in. And I keep it open just a tiny crack, but, living alone, I've thought about that. Why do I still close the door when I'm the only one here?
So funny.
Because you don't want to get fucking shit smell in the rest of the house.
My shit doesn't stink.
Everyone's shit smells. You're just so used to it that you don't recognize it anymore.
Actually, I have a spray. And if you got stinky poo-poo, this is what the spray's for. I have a spray after I use the bathroom. Well, actually, you spray it into the water before you go do your
Well,
business.
I say prove it. Take one out and sniff it in front of everybody.
No.
Show us that it smells good.
I can tell
Is
you
it
this.
called poopery?
I can tell you the spray name of the spray too.
No,
Is
if
it
you don't take a
is
turd
it
out right now and
poopery?
smell it, I'm not gonna believe you.
The company's name is V.I.Poo.
Poo.
And I have the bottle. It's lavender smell, and you spray it in your toilet before you do your business.
Yep, I bought that before I went to visit Hammy for the first time, but I bought it in a different brand called Poopery.
Yeah, and the shit's nasty. I'd rather smell your shit than like have an allergic reaction. Thanks.
But I put it this way: I could be there visiting you. If
You
go in
want
the
to smell
shower-
my shit? Sorry.
If you would go in the shower, I would not invade on you unless I was in the mood, and then I'd get in the shower. But did never do this. Hubby would go into the shower. I would not go in the bathroom. I didn't want to violate his privacy.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't mind if she's in the bathroom while I'm showering.
Yeah.
do you get in the shower with him?
No, I have too small of a shower.
Oh, Bo.
I gotta take my shower time is like my time for me.
Whatever. The shower is not too small. We just don't prefer showers.
I'm a big person. Like, okay, so the water spread, like one person can get wet at a time. That's it. So like
Not if
it's
she's
not
on her
fun.
knees.
No, I like my shower time for me.
Oh, you're so selfish. I put it this
Selfish?
way: no, I won't even go to it because that's too graphic.
I have a lot of shit to do when I'm in the shower. I have to poo,
Well,
I have to pee, I have to fucking make breakfast.
Well, you make the announcement
Poop in there.
after a couple minutes in the shower and you got all your body crud kind of washed away. Then she goes into the shower.
No, I don't like that. Unless you have like
Then
one
you
of
wind
those
up
like
falling down on the
movie
shower because-
type showers where like it's one of those walk-in showers and it's got fucking water spraying from like 8 different places. Like that's nice, sure.
Yeah, but I'm trying to explain something. After you're in the shower a tiny bit, she comes in, gets in the shower, she does some business on you. You wind up on the ground because your feet and ankles and everything else went to jelly. And then she helps you up.
Nah, I don't
And
know.
towels you
Nothing's worse
down.
than wet woman. It's like a wet dog. Like, come see me when
Oh,
you're dried off
Ew.
and pretty.
Fuck you. You're gross. That's not true.
Yeah,
It is. You guys shed hair like a wet dog. It clumps
I
to
can
the
tell now
walls.
he's
Like, I
not
don't
a
want clumps of your hair on me.
he's not a romantic.
Mm-mm.
Nope. You're not a romantic.
He's like aggressive, Ann. He's aggressive.
So what do you do if you're in the shower and you got to take a shit? You get out of the shower and ruin your shower and take
do
a
your
shit and then
business
go back
before
in the
you-
shower?
There's a routine to this. You do all your pottying before you get in the shower. Jeez.
Yeah, but what if that one hits you like right then and there? It's an emergency. You're getting
Tell
out of
her
the
hang
shower
on
to
a
go?
minute. Just tell her to hang on a minute and you'll be right back. Look. You make things difficult.
He's the worst. He's the worst, Dan.
I can imagine when she first gets in that door, she gets dragged right to the bedroom.
He's aggressive.
No, I don't drag women around my house. I'm not Dr. Dracombe.
No.
Oh, excuse me. You coerce her and kind of nudge her towards the bedroom. Come on, I
No, I
haven't
just
had
tell
it
her I
so
have
long.
cookies upstairs, and she goes right on up by herself.
Oh, you
Shut
set a
up.
trap and you set a trap and lure her.
No, I don't even have to set the trap. I just tell her there's cookies up there. I don't even actually ever have cookies up there.
So you're doing it, and she's eating a cookie.
No,
So you
there
can
are no
get your
cookies.
off.
He lied about the cookies. He doesn't even provide those.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God!
The only thing that could be considered a cookie that I provide is a plain B.
You're so cheap. No cookies.
I know.
A plain B is
know.
a cookie.
Yeah, but you getting off your cookies.
Those Plan Bs can be expensive.
What's
But
Plan
no
B?
more of those because those are going to prevent me from ever having kids in the future, I feel like. So I
Yeah,
don't
no,
ever want-
next time you're here, I'm getting you pregnant. Straight up.
No, you're not. Shut
Uh-uh.
I'm
up.
gonna dry.
No, you can't do that. You know why? Because Trump is still trying to take away birthrights. You know, you're
Oh,
from another
no.
country.
Oh,
And
no.
I just read it a couple of days ago. They're having a battle over that
That
one.
just means I won't have to like be on the books to pay child support.
Anyways, I'm ending the stream. Everybody have a
Okey-doke.
great one.
You guys have a good night.
That was a long
You
stream.
too.
That means your prostate is healthy.
Yeah, it was over
All right,
2
bye.
hours and 46 seconds.